to like. Music, talk, inspiration, in perspective. Express yourself. Good morning, my neighbors. Citi FM, your station. It's a refreshing lifestyle. Citi FM 97.3.
Thanking God for another opportunity. We sing expressing gratitude for our lives, for His exemption from justice, His mercy. We celebrate Him for His grace He multiplies unto us every day. We sing because every day He gives us gifts to multiply His good works. Good way to start your morning. When they ask you why you sing, sometimes it doesn't make sense to even be singing because all is doom and gloom. But we know what we have seen. We know who we have trusted. And so we sing while it does not make sense. We keep putting in the work while it does not seem to yield any fruit yet. Because in the fullness of time, He will multiply the harvest. Good morning to you and welcome to another lovely day on your favorite network, 97.3 Citi FM. My name is Caleb Kuda. Welcome to Tuesday. It's a great day to lift up your spirit. Great way to start your day. What is your why is the big question this morning. Why are you doing what you do? Why do you do things the way you do them? What is your purpose for doing what you do? Oh, the Master says, I must work the works of Him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when man can work no more. I must work the works of Him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. So why do you do what you do? A time is coming you're not going to do it any longer because it will be night. A night will come on your days. So while the day is here, how are you doing what you have to do? How differently are you doing what you have to do? What is your why? We know why we are here. A time is coming. We'll not have the opportunity to do what we do any longer. But what we do, the harvest of it,
and if somebody asked you,
will leave rippling results for generations unborn. So do what you have to do today, because a time is coming and you would not have the chance to do that any longer. Put in your all. Give it your best. Yes, there are challenges, but given the limitations there are, and knowing that the time is running out and day is all we have, put in your best. Put in your very best. A time is coming. Day will be over and night will be here. Businesses is brought to you by ADB. ADB knows that a time is coming and night will come and you will have no more work to do. And so while you have work to do, ADB says if you need any personal loan to resolve your financial issues, they're offering you a variety of personal loans, including top-up loans at significantly reduced interest rates. You will also enjoy a longer tenure of up to 6 years. This offer is only open to non-customers as well. So kindly visit the nearest branch or call 0302-210-210 or 0302-224-043 for further inquiries. ADB is the People's Bank. ADB is truly a brick and more. Welcome to the show. It's an interactive one. The newspaper review is up next. Let's have a good day while it's day.
You're my melody at midnight, Jesus.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
We understand the excitement and preparations that comes when your child gains admission into senior high school. But we at the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB PLC, also understand the financial burden this comes with. The chop box, trunk, school mattress, you name it. That's why we have partnered with Prospectus Ghana Limited to offer financial support for parents by introducing the ADB Quick Purchase. With a smart loan of up to 20,000 Ghana cedis, you can pick up all all the items on your child's prospectus for school. ADB PLC offers you a repayment plan of 12 months to relieve you of all that heavy financial burden. Every ADB customer who receives their salaries through the bank, military and police personnel, and all other workers on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll qualify for this facility. Walk into any ADB branch nationwide or any Prospectus Ghana Limited office near you to apply for the ADB Quick Purchase. Terms and conditions apply. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly a quick and more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
You the newspaper review shortly, brought to you by Total Excellium, Total Energies, and Fidelity Bank. Have you heard about the incredible benefits of Excellium from Total Energies? Let me tell you more about this premium fuel with its amazing 3-in-1 power. Total Energies introduces Excellium new formula, the additive enriched fuel with its powerful 3-in-1 action that cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption thanks to the cumulative effect of its anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives. Excellium new formula also lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption while reducing carbon dioxide emissions, CO2 emissions. You will drive Experience the difference with Total Energies Excellium with new formula. Choose Excellium, choose quality. Now, the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System PAPS is now live at Fidelity Bank. Imagine sending money to your loved ones or business partners across Africa instantly and in Ghana cedis. Don't wait for days for transactions to clear. No more expensive fees, just fast, secure, and affordable payments. PAPS is here, and Fidelity Bank makes sending money through PAPS easy. Visit any of our branches and start sending money across Africa instantly, securely, and affordably to Nigeria, Gambia, Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. Fidelity right away, and Richard Delasky is in the studio.
Hey, my man.
Good morning, Richard.
Good morning,
Delasky. And then Nathan Crowell is also here, gentlemen. Good morning to you.
Hello. Good morning.
So much in the papers today.
Yes.
Yeah, except that the papers are far and few in between. I don't know. Like Charlie, the dog is catching everybody. Charlie, hunger day everywhere, my guy.
No, you mean the size of the paper shows how the economy is going.
Yeah, Charlie. If the size of the paper reduces, it is a confirmation of the things happening in the economy.
No, but the money has come. The IMF money. I thought.
Yeah.
So there's good news in there.
The Bank of Ghana.
Let's jump into it.
The Chronicle says this morning, Ghana secures 4.7 billion. Government restructures $1 billion legacy debt with IPPs. The VRA to spill excess water. Ghana's Navy's riverine command on standby. And then also ECOWAS reviews Abidjan Lagos highway project. So take note of the story about the VRA.
Yes, we'll have to.
We mentioned it a few
weeks ago. I remember that.
And then finally from you.
No, I still have a stash, so I don't know whether you want to clear your...
Okay, let me clear this one. The overseer says this morning, Mohammed's legacy, UGMC performs first 6 kidney transplants. If you go to the hospital is truly beautiful. And Napo's royal connection will boost MPP's chances in 2024 polls, according to a university lecturer. And then also IGP leaked tapes. Superintendent Asari, Superintendent JB caught peddling falsehood and some other things they say.
Okay, the new finder says $1 billion IPP debt restructured. Parliamentary approval required to finalize amended terms. Other stories. Gradual loss of trust for democratic rule calls for significant reforms. Francis Poku. IMF lauds Ghana's economic progress as reason for third tranche disbursement. And of course, Baumia of Lily Rice. Court says his plan was to create, loot and share. Other stories, election 2024, battling to government, be guided by Kenya's chaos. And the Anchor newspaper has a very troubling one on its front page. Reports of missing persons on alarming rise.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will get into it. And Finance Minister says Ghana's economy is recovering. And Task Force arrests 30 illegal miners in forest reserves. And in some hardcore politics, Baumia campaign team Dan Botwe sidelined. It's a question that the Anchor is asking this morning. Caleb.
It keeps coming up. Now, we go to citynewsroom.com. My dollar advice was honest, not speculative. Isaac Adongo replies, Adam. Election 2024, maintain strict neutrality. Defense Minister tells military. Free SHS bill, lack of stakeholder consultation. Unfortunately, this is minority. Baumia selected Napo based on experience. Nanabi here. Ex-Gracia story is also here as well. It hasn't served its purpose. Let's scrap it. Bagbin is speaking and stop politicizing military operations. Francis Poku. Cement manufacturers boycott meeting with Katie Hammond over price regulation. These are some of the stories on citynewsroom.com. If you go to myjoyonline.com, Bagbin calls for abolition of ex-gratia payments, declares systems outmoded, plots to remove IGP. Attached shares committee went beyond its mandate. This is Kofi Bento. And IGP leaked tape. Content of committee's report is surprising. COP Asari's lawyer. NDC won't depend on court for victory. Fifi Kwete speaking. Trump win as top court deals blow to January 6 case. And a worrying one here. Commuters breathe toxic air using public transport. Commuters breathing toxic air using public transport. And this is a very serious one. And
this
is myjoyonline.com. Economist and NDPC chief Dr. Kojo Esiam Mensah Abrampa dies at 68. Sad one coming through. If you go to All Africa for a view of what's happening on the continent, no blood on my hands, says Kenya's Ruto as he pledges reforms. 3 journalists grilled him in an interview yesterday, and Ramaphosa announces government of national unity cabinet. And Nigeria blast kills 18 in suspected female suicide bombings. Also, why dropping finance bill won't satisfy Kenya's angry protesters, and Museveni faces criticisms over anti-corruption. If you go to BBC, Trump win as top court deals blow to January 6 case. That's here again. Trump asks for hush money conviction to be overturned. And a few more. CNN Sports, Cristiano Ronaldo is here. Cristiano Ronaldo's focus of penalty drama as Portugal reaches Euro 2024 quarterfinals after beating Slovenia. Now there's
vote for all the boys who scored the penalty.
Especially the goalkeeper.
People have a photo of Ronaldo standing behind the ball and they say, if I send you this, I miss you terribly.
Well,
let's get into the details of the stories now.
Because Jennifer Ambole, writing on the front page of the Chronicle this morning, comes with the story Ghana secures $4.7 billion in debt cancellation. The story, it says the Minister for Finance, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, has stated that Ghana has successfully negotiated or renegotiated Eurobonds to totaling $13.1 billion. Now, this, according to him, has resulted in a debt cancellation of approximately $4.7 billion and expected savings of $4.4 billion in debt servicing over the next 3 years. Now, these initiatives, Dr. Adam emphasized, reflect Ghana's commitment to fiscal consolidation and sustainable debt management. Now, according to him, the government has also successfully secured a debt service relief amounting to $2.8 billion between 2023 and 2026 from bilateral creditors, marking a significant milestone in Ghana's efforts to achieve fiscal sustainability and economic recovery. Now, Dr. Adam, the Minister for Finance, announced this at a joint press conference involving the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Ghana, and the International Monetary Fund in Accra.
Meanwhile, Isaac Adongo is replying, the Finance Minister. He says, my dollar advice was honest, not speculative. Isaac Adongo, ranking member on the Finance Committee of Parliament, has responded to criticisms from the Minister of Finance, Dr. Amin Adam, stating that he was simply telling Ghanaians the truth with his comments on the dollar. Dr. Amin Adam criticized Adongo for urging businesses to purchase dollars if needed. I was speaking at a joint press conference on the Bank of Ghana and IMF officials with the Bank of Ghana and IMF officials. Dr. Adam slammed the Bolga Central MP, assuring that the government remains fully committed to providing stability in the exchange rate. He also cautioned against speculating on the city's current challenges, stating that such actions contribute to the currency's woes. But in his reaction, Adongo on Eyewitness News challenged the notion that his advice constituted unpatriotic speculation as described by the Finance Minister. So that's some back and forth on the city and the economy between Isaac Adongo and Mohammed Amin Adam.
Okay, if you go to page 13 of the Daily Graphic, 3 million children above 5 to receive Ghana cards. And the story is written by Augustine Koba Baini in Kumasi. And it says, effective this month, children aged between 6 and 14 years will be issued Ghana cards for free. The NHIA has absorbed the cost of the issuance of the cards for an estimated 3 million children in the country to enable them link up with the NHIS to access primary health care. Consequently, the NHI will pay 245 million cedis to the National Identification Authority to provide the Ghana cards to children in that age bracket. The CEO of the NHI, Dr. Da Costa Abuaje, who disclosed this at a workshop for journalists and other stakeholders in Kumasi last Saturday, said the intervention formed part of measures by the authority to ensure universal health coverage for all. Currently, those between the ages of 0 and 5 are expected to be issued with the Ghana card at birth.
Okay,
wow, that's a good one. Let's stay in the area of health because there's some really good news on the front page of the Overseer newspaper.
Okay,
Mohammed's legacy: UGMC performs first 6 kidney transplants.
Yeah, I think this came up earlier.
Yeah, so the story has actually been celebrated in the what do you call it? The what's the name? The Chronicles editorial for this morning.
Okay.
The story is actually on page 4 of the newspaper, and it says the University of Ghana Medical Center Limited, an ultra-modern medical facility built by former president and flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has successfully performed 6 kidney transplant surgeries. Now, this is the medical facility's first set of kidney transplant surgeries. Forgive me. Now, it goes on to say the UGMC has so far conducted 6 kidney transplant surgeries with utmost precision, care, and expertise. A statement issued over the weekend via social media said. Now, the hospital also revealed that the team which led the performance of the surgeries was a mix of local and foreign medical professionals who were highly skilled and dedicated. It's a beautiful one.
It is. And the big takeaway for me on this is that if we invest properly in our infrastructure and the welfare of our professionals, they will do amazing, and we will not have to be catching the next flight to go seek healthcare outside.
Exactly. And if you go to the Chronicle, their editorial says congratulations to UGMC, and somewhere in the editorial they say that we believe that commendations are in order, particularly to the visionaries and down to the last person at UGMC, through whose hard work, selflessness, and love for country, this edifice is saving the lives of people in the country. Now, the Ghanaian taxpayer, that's where my stress is, expects to see prudent utilization of the taxes they pay. Otherwise, hell will break loose should any government attempt to ask for more money.
Well, closely linked to this is
continue.
the fact
let me add this one. Many times, a section of the public has bemoaned the political class seeking healthcare in South Africa, the United States, Egypt, the United Kingdom, and other places.
Yes,
the excuse has always been the standard of healthcare facilities in our country.
Now, talking about taxes and judicious use of them, ex gratia hasn't served its purpose. Let's scrap it Bagbin is speaking here. Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin has reiterated his stance on the ex-gratia payments to Article 71 office holders, insisting it no longer serves its intended purpose. According to him, the original intention behind the ex-gratia payments for certain public servants and political office holders was to combat corruption, but this is no longer the case in the current dispensation. Let me give you a quick quote. This issue of ex-gratia is a very thorny issue. The founders envisaged a situation where they wanted some particular category of public servants, including political office holders. The ex-gratia is not for members of parliament, and it's not even ex-gratia, it's gratuity. There's a difference between ex-gratia and gratuity, and it's not for members of parliament alone. It cuts through a category of public servants and political office holders, including Auditor General. It goes on and on and on. So let's see who will take leadership so we end the payment of ex-gratia. As the speaker is saying, it has outlived its purpose.
Okay, so talking about retirement and related issues, let me just draw your attention quickly to page 6 of the Ghanaian Times. There is a beautiful write-up there by Cameron Dodu, Farewell, Professor Francis Nkrumah, the eldest son of the late president of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Now, he passed away on the 30th of June 2024. He's retired to join the majority, and Cameron Dodu has actually done a beautiful piece on him. If you're interested in that, and I hope you are, please grab a copy of the Ghanaian Times and read that for yourself.
Page 20 of the Daily Graphic, just hopping on that, Dr. Kojo Esiamensa Brampa, he's the Director General of the National Development Planning Commission. He's passed away. Sad story. And he passed away at the Cape Coast Hospital in the early hours of yesterday, according to the Daily Graphic. A family source told the paper that Dr. Mensa Brampa was rushed to hospital after a sudden illness, and his passing has sent shockwaves across sections of the public, with tributes pouring in from various sectors, including government, academia, and development community. I ran into him. There was a function at the NDPC a few weeks ago, and Bernard asked me to attend, and he was there. It's quite shocking to hear that he's passed on.
And their souls rest in perfect peace. In the meantime, though, let's still stay with the subject matter of retirement and related issues. And if you go to the Daybreak newspaper, page 3, we're told SNET is fighting some 19,000 payroll ghosts. Now, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust Net has deleted 19,100 ghost names from its pensioners list, saving the country some 479 million Ghana cedis in December last year, according to the Daybreak newspaper, page 3. Now, between 2019 to December 2023, a total of 5,445,000 it's actually 5,445,906 .010 had been paid as benefits to, among others, as immigration lump sum, old age lump sum, and old age pensions.
It's a bit confusing there, right? Let me take you continental quickly. No blood on my hands, says Kenya's Ruto as he pledges reforms. President William Ruto addressed the trending hashtag Ruto must go and protest during a televised media roundtable, emphasizing the constitutional rights of Kenyans to express their opinions and hold his administration accountable. In response to the deaths that occurred during the anti-finance bill protest, Ruto defended his administration against accusations of wrongdoing. He said that he has no blood on his hands, but acknowledged that 19 people were killed during the protest. He also pledged significant reforms in his administration, targeting the office of the First Lady, his economic advisors, and the cabinet. It was quite an interesting interview. 3 solid journalists grilling the president. I wondered if it was a thing that would ever happen.
I felt really sad.
I didn't like his responses. They were very out of tone. And
the one concerning the young man who died.
Yes. He said his parents will hear from him. He will account for whatever. It was very insensitive. It was out of tone. It was really out of tone.
President Ruto, you need to do better.
It was out of tone.
Completely out of order.
He seemed to have emphasized so much on the damages done to the office of the Chief Justice, the Parliament, and he didn't come across as responding with a passion, a human,
And talking about that,
response to that
gradual loss of trust for democratic rule calls for significant reforms. This is according to Francis Poku, and this is in the New Finder. Daniel Nono says, quickly, former National Security Advisor Mr. Francis Poku has issued a stark warning about rising cases of corruption, youth unemployment, simmering internal conflicts, illegal mining, and geopolitical tensions, which he says are high alerts threatening Ghana's democratic stability. Now, he predicted that Ghana risks facing another history if significant democratic reforms are not made by 2025.
Word to the wise is a good place to wrap up. Thank you, gentlemen. Nathan Carl, Richard the Last Guy. That was the newspaper review.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. At what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car. Why you buy new car? No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, they make a finish my go be fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my go be inside? I give you info. Make a feel the go be too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
My body, when you wake up in the morning, and you know the money calling. Oh, you go work. But you know it's out your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, cause you know it's out your side. And when you dream, no say I live by you. And when you hustle every day, anywhere I go, anything you do, I live by you. Anywhere, if I believe I live your side. Fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I lay your side, fidelity.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
It's time for the business news. Neil Latte is here. Business news brought to you by Access Bank and MTN. Good morning, Neil.
Good morning, Caleb. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Access Bank. Coming up this morning, Bank of Ghana pushes for its early recapitalization after government's successful completion of domestic and external debt restructuring. Also, Citi projected to regain stability and boost market sentiment in the coming months following IMF and other international inflows. Plus, prices of eggs shooting up on the market as poultry farmers blame rising cost of feed and other factors of production. My name is Nila Tilate. Many thanks for choosing us. Details of our stories now. Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, is highlighting the urgent need to recapitalize the central bank to avert any potential impact on the banking sector. The International Monetary Fund, in an earlier report, highlighted the need for the central bank's recapitalization as the Bank of Ghana's balance sheet had been affected by the debt restructuring exercise. Speaking at a recent press briefing with the Finance Ministry and IMF officials, Dr. Ernest Addison urged the government to take advantage of the completion of the second review and commence the processes to strengthen the bank's credibility.
With the successful conclusion of the second review, we need to begin to think of the third review of the program and beyond, and take advantage of the reform momentum. Steadfastness and commitment will be needed from now to the end of the year to see through all the structural reforms envisaged under the program, including the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana on the recapitalization of the central bank. This will strengthen the central bank's credibility to effectively deliver on its reforms. I must at this point mention that on a year-to-date basis, that is as of June 27, the Bank of Ghana had accumulated foreign exchange reserves to the tune of $907 million.
Dr. Ernest Addison is governor of the Bank of Ghana. The local currency, the cedi, will make gains in the coming months following the disbursement of the third tranche of the $360 million of the International Monetary Fund bailout. This is expected to have a significant impact on market sentiment. Here is more.
The cedi has been under severe pressure in recent times. Ghana turned to the IMF for financial support in 2022 after the cedi tumbled and inflation soared amid spiraling debt service cost. In 2023, the cedi depreciated by 22% against the US dollar. Although the rate of depreciation has slowed this year to 18.4%, the currency remains under significant pressure. As of July 1, 2024, the cedi was trading at 15 cedis 80 pesos to $1 and 19 cedis 80 pesos to the British pound. The recent approval of the second review of Ghana's extended credit facility arrangement and the finalization of a deal with its official creditor committee are seen as key steps towards economic stabilization. Analysts believe the latest disbursement will have a positive impact on market sentiment. It is expected to help stabilize the cedi and reduce speculative attacks on the currency in the medium term.
With that in mind, a good time to take you to the currency market, isn't it? On the forex market today, the dollar is selling at 16 cedis 10 pesos. The British pound could be sold to you at 20 cedis, that of the euro going for 16 cedis 70 pesos. Moving on, the proposed legislative instrument to regulate cement prices is expected to be laid in Parliament later today. This, according to the Minister of Trade and Industry, Citi Hammond, will ensure that the prices of cement are streamlined across the country. Government is hopeful the airline will curb collusion by some cement manufacturers in hiking the prices of the product. The minister's decision comes a day after 5 cement manufacturers boycotted a meeting with him.
The cement manufacturing industries to take the country for a ride. I think there is an attempt to establish a cabal. I think there is an attempt to establish an oligarchy, a complete oligarchy, to manipulate the system. In the process, the good people of Ghana are being shortchanged. I'm only going to sit down for this. So I put the paper that I've already discussed together, introduced it to majority leader and minority leader, and intended ultimately to lay it in Parliament.
Citi Hammond is Minister of Trade and Industry. You are still listening to the Citi Breakfast, the breakfast edition of Citi Business News on 97.3 Citi FM. In more stories, retail trade and major commercial activities in Accra will be delayed today to give way for a major cleanup exercise ahead of the annual Homo Festival. This move is in line with a directive from the Ghana Traditional Council and the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. However, business activities are expected to bounce back after midday as some corporate establishments such as Enterprise Insurance have issued notices to their clients of opening after 1 p.m. for transactions. Meantime, businesses operating within the Tema West municipality are being shut down over failure of the owners to pay their mandatory operating permit and property rate. And they will soon face closure for non-compliance. This stern warning, according to the municipality, is necessary to secure the revenue required for local development. Municipal Chief Executive for Tema West, Edem Atipo, has indicated that the Assembly has begun a week-long enforcement exercise to collect the outstanding revenue.
Everybody is supposed to pay your business operating permit, your property rate, your building permit. So if you are not able to pay all these things or you refuse to pay, we will close down your shop and we'll send you to court and we surcharge you as well. So I'm encouraging everybody. People want us to build their roads for them, I'm building, they are getting street lights, and all this I'm using is the same money that I have to use to do it.
That was the Municipal Chief Executive for Tema West, Edema Tipo. Now, eggs are a delicacy that most Ghanaians enjoy with a variety of dishes or on its own, whether boiled or fried. For most healthy adults, it is safe to eat 1 or 2 eggs a day depending on your cholesterol levels. It is a good source of protein, sometimes replacing meats. Recently, however, the prices of the commodity have increased. But what factors are accounting for this price surge on the market? Sellers and poultry farmers have been telling us why.
Eggs are a staple in most Ghanaian dishes. They're highly nutritious, whether fried, that is chibom, or kosiane meko. Ghanaians love their eggs. Now, the prices of eggs on the market have increased. So tell us, where do you get your eggs from?
It's from Doma. They bring it from Doma, yes.
And how much do you buy from?
From the suppliers, I think now ranges from 53, 55 to 70 cedis, depending on where you get it from.
So how much do you sell a crate of eggs for now?
Okay, it ranges from 55 to 70 cedis. Depending if it's very big, then I sell it for 70 because I also got it for 65 cedis.
It's accounting for the increments in price.
According to the farmers, they said there are this Burkina Faso and this Togolese or something that come there to buy the eggs with safer. So now they are buying it there with money. So when they bring it here, they don't bring enough here, so they increase the price.
Food vendors tell me they have had to increase their prices because of the prices on the market. What could be accounting for the significant increase in the prices of eggs?
The price of egg is high because our costs of production have also increased. Our input materials of maize, soya bean, premises, all other ingredients we use in our feed formulation have seen a rise in their prices because one of the dollar rate. A number of them are imported. If you take a bag of 50 kilo feed, about 60% is, 55% is composed of maize. The next higher material in that 50 kilo bag of feed is soya bean meal. The soya bean we consume here, we use in our feed formulation, is about 90% imported. So whenever the dollar starts to rise, the dollar rate goes high, it means that we need more money to import the same quantity that we were using when the dollar rate was low. So that brings additional cost to your production cost. And the only way to defray that cost is to share. We don't even push it to the consumer, we share. We also believe that some of the market people will take undue advantage and overprice the eggs on the market. And that is also accounting for the reason why people are not able to buy the eggs as much as we have expected them to buy.
Management Committee Chairman of the Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association, Kwame Intim Dodu, ending that report by Enu Safo. And that does it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Guel and Access Bank. Join us at 1 p.m. for the afternoon's edition of Citi Business News, and later at 8:50 p.m. on Channel 1 TV for CNR Business. But for now, you can visit citinewsroom.com/business for more on our top stories. My name is Nila Tilate. Do have a good business day.
Beautiful people, we are live in town, soaking in the excitement about the partnership between Access Bank and PABS, revolutionizing the way people move money across Africa. Let's hear directly from those reaping the benefits.
It's a relief. Anytime I send money back home, my family receives exactly what I send them, instantly.
I'm studying in Ghana, but originally from Nigeria. With this service, my parents send my school and hostel fees directly, and they do it with so much ease.
I run a fashion business. Let me tell you, sending and receiving money across Africa without those annoying forex fees has really cut down our operational costs.
Benefit from instant payments across Africa with zero foreign exchange hassle. Visit our website www.ghana.accessbankplc.com or call our toll free on 0800 00 4400 for all your cross-border payments.
Pass it with Access Bank.
Access Bank, more than banking.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
And of course, the City Business News brought to you by MTN. If you're looking for a smarter and more convenient way to stay connected, it's time to live seamlessly with MTN's eSIM. No need to carry multiple phones around, because with the MTN eSIM, you can have multiple numbers linked to just one smartphone. Dial *#06# to check your phone's eligibility. Download my MTN app or visit the MTN website to request for your eSIM. You can also visit any of our service centers nationwide to get easy hands-on assistance. Go seamless with MTN eSIM for convenience and seamless connectivity. Segment also brought to you by Access Bank. We brought banking closer to you with our agency banking called Access Closer. Oh yes. Look out for an Access Closer agent in that neighborhood store, mobile money outlet, supermarket, barbering shop, or pharmacy near you. So go on and deposit or withdraw cash, pay bills, buy insurance, transfer cash to other banks, link accounts to mobile money wallets, and do so much more with Access Closer right in your neighborhood. You can call 0302 74 26 96. That's 0302 74 2696. Register as an agent or go to ghana.accessbankplc.com. Access Bank, more than banking. The man is in the house. Oh yes, Kickoff is next with Gabi.
Penado, I like your it's what Greater Accra Unleashed crusade.
If I tell you who I'm wearing this shirt, you know some of the problems we face.
Is that what Church of Pentecost?
Yeah. So this is what happened. I have one of the buttons on my shirt is removed. So I have given it to Joseph to send to the tailor.
To
fix the button.
That's how come you are wearing this.
So I took
a yellow T-shirt from Caleb's.
Yeah.
Caleb's Church of Pentecost T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
And I'm wearing it whilst they sew the button on my shirt.
Make it no carry give again. It looks good on you.
No. Sometimes that's why radio is nice, because if I was on the TV show, so I'm wearing a yellow Church of Pentecost T-shirt whilst they sew the button on my shirt. That's the problem that is happening here.
They are seeing it online.
So I'm wearing a yellow.
He forgot about the streaming.
The yellow shirt is like, the summons.
Charlie, when I forget trouble.
It's like the summons blanket. Oh my God. Kickoff is brought to you by Lesheho. The Lesheho Fixed Deposit Solution is your best option if you're looking to power up your finances and unlock your path to prosperity. With our fixed deposit solution, you're not just investing, you're making your money work harder for you so you can watch your wealth grow. Call 027-004-0799 or send WhatsApp on 027-004-0733. Lesheho, let's improve life. We're also sponsored by Shell. Fuels with Dynaflex are most advanced, designed to prevent deposit buildup and keep your engine clean and protected. They're also designed to help save fuel and get extra kilometers from each tank fill. So drive into any Shell station today, fuel up your car with Shell fuels designed for engine efficiency. Go well.
He has to give them a chance. And Costa saves another! Bernardo Silva entrusted to get the job done, which he does, and Portugal advance to the quarterfinals.
Plus, we look ahead to the final two games in the round of 16. In tennis, Naomi Osaka made a winning return on her appearance at Wimbledon after a 5-year break. That's the Grand Slam for you. All of that plus some letters coming up shortly with me, Gabi Offer. All right, so we start with women's football, and Black Princesses head coach Yusuf Bazigi acknowledges that it will be a significant challenge for Ghana's under-20 team to advance past the group stage of the FIFA Women's World Cup, which will be held in Colombia. Now, the Princesses are placed in Group E alongside 2018 champions Japan, New Zealand and Austria, with the tournament commencing on August 31. Now, this marks Ghana's 7th appearance on the global stage, but they have yet to advance beyond the group stage. Bazigi is determined to change the narrative in Colombia.
Yeah, with the Princesses, I say that we just started training yesterday, and we know what it takes to get to the competition, because we've been struggling a lot, especially with the Princesses when it comes to the World Cup. We've never advanced from the group stage, so it's a big task for us to work very hard this time around, so that you can only talk about the semis when you are able to advance. So this is why we are targeting this time around, to work very hard so that we can advance to the bigger stage.
All right, so that's Black Princesses head coach Yusuf Bazigi speaking to Channel 1 TV there. Well, to Sankla football staff and Accra Heart of Folk head coach Abubakar Ouattara believes that Ghana's two historic clubs, Heart of Folk and Asante Kotoko, have both lost their prominence in recent years. Now, the Phobians narrowly avoided relegation for the second consecutive season, securing their safety with a dramatic victory over Bichem United at Dinana Fosu Jiabo Park on the final day. On the part of Kotoko, it was a subpar performance, and the head coach Prosper Nate Ogum.
No, the Ghana Premier League is tough. You see, the two big teams in Ghana, we are suffering, struggling to survive. I think it's one of the tough leagues in West Africa. I believe maybe one day some country can do that, but the league is good.
All right, so that's Abubakar Ouattara. He's the head coach for Accra Heart of Oak. We stay with the Ghana Premier League and newly promoted side Vision FC have unveiled their new coach together with his technical team ahead of the start of the new season. So his name is Nana Kweku Ajiman, and he worked alongside with former Heart of Oak assistant Hamza Obain and Ibrahim Otu as the second assistant coach. Talk of assistant coach, former Black Stars assistant coach George Boateng has also been appointed as first team coach for Coventry City alongside Raskar Boateng. Now, Boateng played for Coventry when he first arrived in England in 1998-99 season, going on to make 57 appearances and scoring 7 goals for the club, including a famous brace against Aston Villa. So all the best to former Black Stars assistant coach George Boateng. To some swimming, and Delphina Koye, the president of the Ghana Swimming Association, says she believes that the sport has significantly developed over the past few years. Now, she said this in an exclusive interview with Channel One Sport following the news that two swimmers have qualified for the upcoming Paris Olympic Games. So, Harry Stacey, who is currently the top-ranked male swimmer in Ghana, according to the World Aquatics point table, will compete in the 100-meter freestyle event, and Giselle Mensah will also take part in a 50-meter freestyle event with an entry time of 50.67 seconds, a time she achieved at the Africa Aquatic Swimming Championships in Luanda.
No, it really has grown exponentially, I have to say, because I've been with the Swimming Federation for the past 12, 14 years, and we are seeing new things. We are seeing the interest grow, parents pushing their kids and putting them through swimming, not football, not any other sports, you see, but swimming. We have schools who are now training children how to swim. For some schools, it's compulsory for 4-year-olds up to learn how to swim. And I think it is catching on. It is catching on. So swimming is becoming very popular in the country, in this part of our country. People are getting to know about it. It's not just a sport. It's not just a sport. I mean, swimming works on your whole body, from your mind all the way down to your feet. It works on you, it exercises you, it trains you. And I think it is catching on. But for now, say we have really grown, and it's going to become bigger in the next few years.
All right, so that's our president of the Ghana Swimming Association, Delphina Koye, speaking there. Well, let's get to the Europe, and a late on goal from Bayern Vertonghen sent France into the quarterfinals of the Euro 2024 at Belgium's expense. It was pretty much a game that had lacked quality and excitement for large periods, and that looked destined for extra time, but a shot by substitute Randall Colomwani deflected off Vertonghen with 5 minutes remaining to seal the victory at Düsseldorf Arena. Well, Belgium's keeper Kevin De Bruyne was asked about if the golden generation have failed after exiting the tournament.
But what is a golden generation? Yours. And you say that France and England and Spain and Germany is not a golden generation? Okay, thank you.
All right, so that's Belgian skipper Kevin De Bruyne speaking. In Frankfurt, Cristiano Ronaldo's tears turned into elation as Portugal beat Slovenia on penalties to reach the quarterfinal. And they'll take on France despite a 39-year-old missed spot kick in extra time. The hero of the night was Porto's goalkeeper Diogo Costa. He saved all 3 of Slovenia's penalties. And here's Diogo Costa on how he did it.
Well, I just went with my gut. Of course, we analyze the penalty shooters, but players change and they change the way they shoot. But I had to go with gut. That's what I felt. And I'm very, very happy. And I'm also very excited to have helped the team. And that's the main thing.
All right, so that's Portugal's goalkeeper Diogo Costa speaking to an interpreter. Later today, Romania will take on Netherlands at 4 p.m. at the Allianz Arena. 7 p.m. is Austria taking on Turkey at the Red Bull Arena in Leipzig. Well, for the Copa America, Panama will make their first ever appearance in the quarterfinals of the Copa America tournament as second half substitute Eduardo Guerrero and Cesar Yanes helped secure a 3-1 victory over Bolivia at the Inter Court Stadium. Copa America host USA, they're out after losing to Uruguay. That game ended 1-0 at the Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. We finish off with tennis, and Carlos Alcaraz opened his Wimbledon title defense with hard-fought victory over Estonian qualifier Marc Lajau. The Spaniard won 7-6, 7-5, 6-2, and he'll face Alexander Vukic in the second round after the Australian overcame Sebastian Ofner of Austria in a 5-set thriller. But some selected matches coming up later today. In round 1, Andrei Rublev will face Francisco Comensana of Argentina at 11 a.m. this morning. Andy Murray is also up against Czech Republic's Tomas Mashak. Novak Djokovic will take on Vit Kopriva, also from Czech Republic. And Djokovic is aiming for an 8th Wimbledon title. In the women's singles, Tanisha Ons Jabeur will take on Moyuka Uchijima of Japan, and Iga Swiatek of Poland will play Sofia Kenin of the USA. More tennis news later at 5 p.m. But in the meantime, you can head to citisportsonline.com for more sports stories, on X at CitiSportGH. We are on the wings of Shell, Lachelle, and Zonda GH. My name is Gabi Ofer. Do have a good day. Take care of yourself, and bye-bye.
Different cars take different journeys. The strong ones build big cities that people thrive in. The agile ones take us to work there, so we can make a little chop chop. The dependable ones are always present in times of trouble. We salute what you do for Mother Ghana. The traditional ones keep society running. And then there are the flashy ones that keep our roads interesting. Oga, we salute you.
No matter your vehicle, every car loves Shell fuels because our most advanced fuels with Dynaflex technology are designed to prevent deposit buildup and keep your engine clean and protected. Fill up and give your car the love it needs for better journeys. Go well.
Services, innovative financial solutions. We deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, come to Let's Share Go. No matter your situation, come to Let's Share Go. Let's Share Go, we improve your life. Let's Share Go, hey, let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Let's Share Go, we improve your life.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
For the splash of a lifetime. The Channel 1 TV National Swimming Championship is here. On the 13th and 14th of July 2024, witness the ultimate test of tenacity and endurance, where teamwork and camaraderie meet the thrill of competition. Join us at the world-class Bortainment Sports Complex at 9 a.m. Be part of the excitement as swimmers from across the nation compete for glory. Powered by Channel 1 TV in partnership with 97.3 Citi FM and the Swimming Association. Don't miss out on the action. The Channel 1 TV National Swimming Championship.
with the bank for 42 years.
Are you serious?
42 good years.
Hey.
A big man, a serious brain.
82.
Charlie.
Wow.
Today is his 60th birthday. And Nana JB has affected the lives of many people positively.
Yesterday,
in and outside the
I
bank.
met a soldier, a general who had been in uniform for 42 years.
Wow. As old as you know.
People have done things. So
yeah.
42 years as a soldier, 42 years as a banker.
This
Wow.
is just so serious.
1982.
Yeah. 42 years ago. Can you imagine that?
1982, when Ghana was going through a lot of trouble.
So Nana JB, happy birthday to you. Bless you. Many more years and decades ahead of you.
Amen.
Let me say a good morning to the special prosecutor. This is coming from multiple sources. Wishing him a happy birthday, long life, strength, and fortitude in his lonely job. This is coming in from his team. To Delali Makafui Mawena Yaira. Actually, from Delali Makafui Mawena Yaira to the indefatigable Mrs. Cecilia Kwachi Sonku of Stanchat Tema. May this new chapter of your life be filled with divine favor, love, joy, and unforgettable moments. Happy 40th to my husband and friend, Mr. Samuel Kojo Hemans of Corpus Christi School, Tema. Wishing you strength and peace from Mrs. Linda Hemans, the wife. And wishing my dear wife, Gladys Amevo, a senior high court registrar at Ho, a belated happy birthday. Yesterday, 1st July, was her birthday from Yao Semode of NYA in Ho. And to Eugene Ado Parison of Sub School. This is from Daddy, Mommy, Kevin, and the entire family.
But today is the birthday of Delali Sekpe Agwaja. He runs the Randell Designs. He's into print and media stuff. He's an amazing guy. Happy birthday to you, my brother. And yesterday was the birthday of Ekuya Entry, Dr. Ekuya Entry. She's at the Konfanoche Teaching Hospital. Happy belated to you, and also to Abna K. Yadom. She's a presenter at the radio station in Kumasi. Wonderful young lady. Happy birthday to all of you.
Also, good morning. My daughter always listens to you, and she specifically asked me to wish her happy birthday on your platform. So can I wish my 10-year-old daughter, Elsie Ewenam Zokoto.
Yeah, man.
Zokoto. A happy birthday filled with love, laughter, and fun.
Yes, sir.
Elsie Ewenam Zokoto. Oh, my goodness. That's a proper name.
Yes, and I'd like to say happy birthday to my uncle, Michael Tetenate. He lives in Norway. And popular Ghanaian fashion designer, popularly called T. Michael. So, Uncle Mike, happy birthday to you. And happy birthday to Benjamin Nketia.
Good morning to you, man. Happy birthday.
No. It means this Friday, dear, you
yes,
can
we call him Don Corleone. Don Corleone.
He's the host of the very popular.
And it's also the birthday, of Rachel Engman. Today is her birthday, so she's in the City Newsroom. Rachel,
wonderful.
Happy birthday to her.
So it's the host of Sports Panorama with its Don Comio segment.
Yes. Ben, happy birthday to you. This one goes to Wilberforce Kwekwa Painting. He's the headmaster of the Royal School located at Owusu-Ansa, a suburb of Fafraha. So happy birthday to you, Wilberforce Kwekwa Painting.
And a few more coming through as we move into the show. 7:41. Lots of things to talk about today. Yesterday we brought you live the Republic Day lecture at the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College in partnership with the One Ghana Movement. I was privileged to moderate that event, which featured some really great speakers. Francis Poku, Esquire, a former National Security Minister, was the main lecturer. We had Professor Kwesi Enin, who also lectured. when young people lose hope, they've lost all. All right. So I think somebody says, he who loses money loses much. He who loses friends loses more. But he who loses hope loses all. All right. And his point was that young people need hope. So the political class must ensure that they do things that engineer hope for the people. And when stories come around economic mismanagement, bad governance, and all of those things, when people are driven to despair, it can cause problems.
Yeah.
And then there was also a discussion about uprisings in West Africa and what had caused those uprisings.
Yeah.
The systemic corruption, the feeling of alienation, exclusion by masses, and the loss of hope, was something that we should think about. And then one of my mentors always says that the most dangerous creation of any society is a person who has nothing to lose. Right? The most dangerous creation of society is a person who has nothing to lose. So when we all have a stake in the game, we all have something we can protect, we make sure the system works. When you create a society where very few people enjoy and they brazenly do so in your face, and people don't have access to healthcare, don't have access to good education, don't have access to jobs, once they feel they have nothing to lose, they can supervise or partake in the collapse of the system. So we should not create a system where citizens are pushed to a place where they have nothing to lose. And also, when people lose hope, they've lost all. So he was talking about, everybody agrees that the next government, it's almost like this government we've given up on this government. Like, you know what? Whoever wins this election has to reset democracy, has to restore hope. And I think Francis Poku suggested, for example, a massive agricultural program where young people will go into agriculture. But the problem, a lot of young people don't want to go into agriculture. Because if you are looking at youth unemployment, look, 57% of our population is aged below 25. Okay. So if you take those below 35, that's almost like 69, 70%. All right. Now, those guys, a lot of them don't have work to do. I think there was a story a couple of days ago about the unemployment rate. I think they find out in the story. Unemployment rate among the 35 to 15-year group. It was over something high percent of unemployment. Okay. So they are either not working or not doing real work. But the problem is that if you look across sectors, the sectors that can really employ people en masse is manufacturing, construction, and agriculture. Somehow those sectors, young people don't find attractive. Some young people don't find attractive. So somebody was telling me that if you go to a lot of the communities where farming used to occur, young people are either going into galamsey or they are betting. You see? So they don't see farming as a viable means of getting money. So some are joining galamseyers to go and look for gold. All right. So one group feel like the fastest way to get money is galamsey, because the galamsey is not just the destruction of agriculture and the issue of looking for gold, but it's also the illicit financial flows. So once you are getting quick money, there's a place called dollar power. People are exchanging money for all things, right? So what I want Ghanaian young people to tell me today is, what kind of intervention do they want or do they expect from the system in order not to lose hope? So if government comes up with a massive farming program where government says, okay, we're going to give you land or we're going to give you equipment, come and farm, would you do it? All right, that's the first question. And for those who are in galamsey and those who are gambling and all of those things, is it just because of quick money? Is it a sustainable job? Manufacturing has to grow at a certain level for it to be labor absorptive. So, Caleb, usually when we talk about growth, basic economic tells you that if we produce more, everybody is better off. But where you produce and how you produce is as important as what you produce. So if you produce more oil and you just use more machines, you can make a lot of money, but you will not employ a lot of people.
That's true.
So even though your economy can grow by 14%, because you produce first oil in the Jubilee fields, and your oil production raises your revenues massively, if the labor absorptive rate of that growth is low, it doesn't benefit most people. Unless the money that comes out of the oil, you use it to do things that will help people. All right? So generally speaking, growth from agriculture and manufacturing is a better quality growth than growth from, say, extractives.
Right.
All right? Of course, you can look at mining, and mining is 50-50. Some mining is labor intensive. So if you go to Obuasi or you go to some of these mines, they employ a lot of people. But generally speaking, manufacturing promises the most, because if you take two companies, and one company is a trading company that sells, let me give an example. Maybe it's a trading company that sells rice. Okay. If they sell 100,000 cedis worth of rice, they probably need only 50 people.
Yeah.
Because they import their rice, they have guys who clear the rice, they keep the rice in a warehouse, and then they have retailers. Now, the same 100,000 cedis worth of rice, if you produce it in a farm at Asuchari, you are probably going to employ 250 people.
True.
So it is the same rice, it is the same amount of money you sell it for. But economic growth theory tells you that the labor intensity of producing that rice in Asuchari is better for the economy than importing that 100 bags. So we don't judge an economy by just how much rice was sold. We judge an economy by the value chain. Now, if the person in Asuchari has maybe 50 farm hands, or maybe he even has 200 outgrowers who have smaller farms, then you have a guy who applies the fertilizer, then you have a guy who applies the chemicals, then you have the ladies who, when the rice is growing, they put the fish net. You know, they use a fishing net to prevent birds from eating rice.
Yeah.
So you know, when you go to a typical rice farm, when the rice starts fruiting, some birds, I don't know who releases them from the pit of wherever, they come and start eating. They suck the juice out of the rice. So you can employ, you can use a scarecrow. But this is the birds, they don't fear scarecrows again. They only fear scarecrows when we're young, but now it be like the birds have
adapted.
So now when the birds see scarecrow,
they use artificial intelligence.
So what you do is that the ladies usually
Yeah.
will take a fishing net, and then they will spread it over the rice over many kilometers, so that the birds cannot chew the rice. Right? I'm talking about labor intensity of agriculture. And I'm coming to Francis Poku shortly, making a point. So an economy that just imports rice and sells may make 100,000 cedis worth of money for a businessman and his warehouse people, but that's not quality growth. Same for oil extraction and a lot of extractives. The places that a government must focus on, if the government wants to employ people, is agric. Because as I said, you have the guys who clear the land, the tractor guys, then you have the guys who actually apply the seed, they plant it, then there are guys who tend it. Throughout the process is labor absorptive, all the way through harvesting. And when you even harvest, the people who even thresh it and then pack it in bags, there's employment throughout. Then you go to the mill. So by the time that rice gets to the factory, to a place like, say, whatever, Nana Rice or whatever, you've employed over 300 people. So what the government needs to do is to put money in agric. The banks don't put money there because the banks would rather support trade. So even if the banks come and tell you that they support agric, a banker prefers to give money to Fred to go and import rice because it's trade finance. It's easy to get his money back. If the bank gives the money to Sky, it's too risky. Because by the time Sky goes to clear the land, maybe it may rain, his combined harvester may break down, birds may come and eat his rice. So the banks don't support Sky. They support Fred, who imports the rice. So what the government needs to do is to use money to support Sky to do the rice farm, to employ people.
But there's an example.
Talk to me.
So why I'm smiling broadly listening to you is because we visited 1,300 hectare campus. And this is an agric campus, right? And so the government donated 1,300 hectares of land to what is called the Herbert It's a foundation.
Which country are you talking about?
I'm talking about Rwanda here. So Howard G. Buffett Foundation builds a campus that's worth $87 million US. There is a water body there, so they teach the children, they teach the students irrigation. We spoke to a young man who is mechanization and processing technologist. So what they do is that in your first year, because they are training the youth to go out there because they are big on farming as well. So they are training you so that if you go to a smallholder farm, they teach you how to milk the cow with your hand. By the time you get to second year, they teach you how to do agric at an SME level. By the time you get to third year, you are using commercialization. You are doing agric on a commercialized level, so that it's a big thing. So I'm just adding up to your point that the government must put money into agric, because when you are then adding value to the youth, and they are not just doing the menial jobs, which is why a lot of them would not want to do the agric, then they will find it to be a prestigious thing, because the students we spoke to were happy that they were eating what they were growing on their campus. On that campus, the students eat what they grow.
So I think the point we are trying to make in a long-winded way is that this democracy will not succeed if it doesn't generate jobs and hope. And the slogans don't solve the problem if you don't really put your money where your mouth is. So if, for example, you say you are doing You Start or Ghana Cares or Batampa or whatever you're talking about, where are the evidences? Where are the people employed there? Because you go to communities and you see young people sitting idle, playing draft, betting, doing galamsey. All right? You need to find... So I'm saying agriculture, manufacturing, and then construction. These are the most labor-absorptive industries if you look at our growth. All those studies have been done. I really want the government to tell us where they are. Where are the people being supported in agric in a meaningful way? You get me? In a meaningful way, not necessarily just with money, but with all the things you're talking about. Because if, based on the example of rice I gave you, the financial institutions themselves are not lending to agric. And the government is also crowding out the financial institutions. We've had 14 straight months of reduced lending to private sector. This is the Bank of Ghana's own statistics. So the banks are not lending to the farmers. And the government is also crowding out private sector. So if you're a manufacturing entity in Ghana, again, somebody can be selling plastics. And then somebody can be manufacturing plastics. The manufacturing plastics guy is employing more than the guy importing to sell. We can say same for many products. Now, the financial system is not supporting the manufacturer. So the manufacturer will also close down his shop. And people will go and stay home. Construction is the third area where the cement issue comes in. Now, construction is probably the most labor intensive of all. Because let's assume we are building a massive building. Even if you are building your house. Look, when we built the building at Tesano, we used labor. Let's go to the communities we went to build the things. At least on every site, 30 people. And by the time you go through the list, when we are doing foundation, concrete carriers, we do all of that. Then we come into the guys who are proper masons, right? We do the pillars. We are doing the plastering, the bricklayers. We go all through carpenters, roofing guys, welders, plumbers. It's powerful. So I want the government to tell me where it is investing our money. In where is the evidence that agric is being supported to absorb 57% of the population is aged below 25. The people who are aged between 15 and 35, they have the highest unemployment rate. They all cannot work in banks. They all cannot work in radio stations. They all cannot work in insurance companies because the services sector cannot propel economic growth from third world to first world. It has never been done anywhere. Nobody can short-circuit the process from agric to manufacturing to services. Despite what everybody will tell you everywhere. So, agriculture, construction, manufacturing. Anytime industrial sector grows, the main driver of industrial sector growth is construction. So industrial sector growth premises on manufacturing and construction, not mining. So mining gives us revenue, but mining may not necessarily be as labor absorptive in a sustainable way because the mines are being efficient. They are trying to cut back.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah. So if you want people to have hope, do tangible, meaningful things in agriculture. So what I want to let the people who have been supported in all these programs come out so we see them. You get it? If you say, anytime they are doing recruitment for soldiers or for police, go and see the queue. The economy cannot grow if you just absorb people into police and all those things. Those things don't, they are good. We need police, we need soldiers, but they are not necessarily growth enhancing. You see, so the effort must be in meaningful agriculture. Call any farmer and put him on air genuinely and ask them where they are with their farms. Are they getting access to credit? Are they getting access to the right level of support? I have a farmer friend in the Volta region. Last 3 weeks, it rained. His greenhouses collapsed. His farm was flooded. We don't know whether he's been able to recover. So we need to translate all the nice speeches into something meaningful. All the speakers yesterday said the next government has a very, very difficult job. And we need to start hearing practical things around what can be done to generate meaningful employment beyond the slogan. The slogans are too many. The slogans don't translate into reality because we can see it. Just drive to Koforidua, drive to any basic. Look, I was talking to farmers even in cash crops, even cashew. It's not easy. So agriculture must become the mainstay. So Francis Boko was suggesting government should come up with a massive program of agric that employs people. But the question is, who will bail the cat? We'll bring you some excerpts from that program shortly. Let's bring you tech and social media trends. Cell and First Bank Ghana.
Telecel to have the world at your fingertips because the wait is finally over. We are here. Now you have everything you want and need. Quick and reliable communication, stress-free money transactions via Telecel Cash. Transform your big business ideas into success stories with us. Connect with Telecel and enjoy a world of endless possibilities because with Telecel, there's no limit to connections. Telecel, connecting energies. And the biggest dreams start small. So this long vacation, enroll your children or wards on the First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program from July 15th to September 15th, 2024 and enable them gain valuable work experience. All you need to do is to sign up your children or wards for the Kids First account designed for children up to the age of 12 or for the Me First account made for teenagers aged between 13 and 17 years. Make an initial deposit of 300 cedis in the account and apply for the First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program. They will win a lot of prizes and cash prizes as well. So to find out more about the First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program, please call 0596 921 921 or email us at firstsolutions@firstbankgroup.com. First Bank Ghana, you first.
So what's trending this morning? Nathan has the details.
Yeah, you can imagine that after last night's very interesting bit of Euro 2024 action, Ronaldo will be in the trend. So the name Penaldo is in the trend. But last night, Charlie Ronaldo chopped out. Jan Black saved the kick in extra time. Ronaldo scored his kick in the shootout. Portugal went on to win 3-0. You know, the Slovakians, I'm sure they thought Jan Oblak could save them.
Yeah, that's right.
So they were pushing the game to the shootout.
They were disappointing in front of goal yesterday. At least two obvious
chances.
They had chances. But for some reason. Ronaldo is a legend in his own right. Yes. It's done a lot for the game.
Oh, he has.
But I think at this point he needs to say Charlie bye-bye to the game. Because
how?
we don't want to forget the quality of player that he was. You understand?
So that's that's funny. So in line with that, the name Sesko, Benjamin Sesko, the Slovenian forward. Yesterday he had an opportunity, he couldn't take it. So that's what's happening.
And you see, all the old men are being exposed. You know, with all due respect to the older generation of players. I mean, look at Pepe, for instance. That would have, if this Sesko guy, he could have easily converted that, but
it didn't happen.
Diogo was in top form yesterday.
Yeah, Diogo Costa, hard guy. So those are some of the things trending. Napo trending, of course, because of the politics, MPP, all of that. BC is also trending. A few days ago, there were some reports that our nephews, nieces, brothers, sisters in JSS would be writing a reduced form. I think they said they were taking away some of the subjects. Yes, and all of that. And then because of the free SHS bill that's going to cabinet, it's seeking to cancel BC for SHS admissions, and SHS would now be 6 years, or that's what the bill is proposing. So those are some of the things that are trending. BET Awards from a few days ago, still trending. UGMC still trending because of the stories in the press concerning the surgeries or the kidney transplants that happened there. Now to some tech news and very interesting tips. This morning I'm going to share some tips. If your iPhone battery is draining very quickly, I'll share a few tips on what you can do to save the situation. Turn off the always on display. Some people leave the always on display ticked. No, go and turn it off. Go to settings, display, and turn off your always on display. Disable the haptic feedback. I know some people love it when they punch the keyboard and it vibrates with every touch. It may sound nice or it may feel nice, but it's draining your battery. So you need to work on that. Also, disable the Hey Siri detection. Reduce the amount of notifications you get. Turn off nearby airdrop sharing. And the final tip, check the widgets on your lock screen. So you can just do all of these things. Just try and save your battery. You charge the phone in the morning. By the time you get back home, it's done. It's empty. Check some of these things and tweak your habits so you can save your iPhone battery so it can stay on.
Yeah, I mean, since I started radio and long before that, my phone you will not hear my phone ring.
Okay.
It's always silent, and it's something I live with.
It's on vibration.
Yeah, I don't even use vibration because.
So how do you know if a call is coming?
Somehow there's, my mind is, like, something just tells me that
just
I'm
check
receiving a call. Then
a call is coming through. I see.
So it irritates me when you go into a work environment, or maybe you're in
those phones are blaring,
going off, and people are typing on messages are dropping, Twitter, Instagram. Please do something about it.
All right, that's a segment for the morning.
8, we'll be bringing you excerpts of that lecture we're talking about this morning. And some of your messages that have also come in as well. We're discussing our national security situation, looking at unemployment, and thinking about how to maximize agriculture, construction, and manufacturing, so that we can reduce the incidence of our food insecurity and the unemployment situation we have in the country. We'll be bringing you those excerpts shortly. Professor Kwesi Enin as well as Francis Poku will be bringing you excerpts of their lecture. In the meantime, today, Sudan Land Bank presents you a thought-provoking proposition. They call it BKS. Buy land, keep it, and sell it later for profit. This is the meaning of land banking. Why not store your hard-earned money in land instead of the ever-fluctuating CD? Imagine a world where your wealth grows organically and is rooted in fertile soil. Land, unlike currency, does not lose value overnight. It appreciates steadily like a timeless symphony behind building to a crescendo. Let's explore the verses of this financial benefit together through sustainability, stability, growth, diversification, legacy, and freedom. Why don't you call us now on 0303 955 903 or 0532 389 050. Visit our website www.sudanlandbank.com. You can also have all these information on the page 4 of the Graphic Business, page 8 of Monday Daily Graphic, and all Citi Newsroom online platforms. Sudan Land Bank, litigation free and hassle free land ownership is our hallmark. Sudan Land Bank, we are black and white. Gasaba. Hey folks, did you know that cooking with firewood and charcoal can be as harmful to your lungs as smoking? That's right. It can cause heart diseases, stroke, and even affect your eyesight in the long run. But worry no more, because the National Petroleum Authority is here to change that with a new cylinder recirculation model. With this fantastic initiative, you can easily switch to gas without the hassle. Just visit any nearby exchange point and trade your empty cylinder for a filled one. No more long trips or waiting around to fill your gas cylinder. The truth is simple. Smoke is harmful. NTCC dear gasaba. Make that smart switch from firewood and charcoal to gas for a healthier, happier life. This is a message proudly brought to you by the National Petroleum Authority and the Ministry of Energy.
Now, there's an exciting beverage out there on the market from the producers of Cowbell. They bring Twisco, a chocolate fruit drink with a blend of premium cocoa powder enriched with NF4, the combination of energy-boosting minerals and vitamins, including B vitamins, vitamin C, D, iron, and so much more. And it's available in 20-gram sachets, and you can find that in your neighborhood store and shops around you. Or start your day with a cup of the great tasting Twisco and power your dream. This ad is FDA approved. Now, are you ready for your kids to supercharge their future? Then join Nyansapor Institute STEM Bootcamp and unlock a world of opportunities. Dive into artificial intelligence, 3D design, coding, and more skills that top employees are craving. And you get to learn with US-based expert Michelle Amwako, a mechanical engineer specializing in systems and software engineering. The program starts on the 12th of August, ends on the 31st of August. It's for children 10 and above. Call 053-711-7334. Nyansapor Institute, where coding, engineering, and design meet opportunity. You've made some money this year. It's been a quite a year for you. In September, you want to wind down. Let me recommend Global Wings Travel and Tour. They are going to Kuala Lumpur. They are going to Singapore.
Nice.
Fly with them to see the sights and sounds and taste some wonderful food in the Far East. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to explore two of Asia's most iconic destinations. Call 0553-688-398 or visit them on social at Global Wings Travel GH. Pack your bag and let Global Wings whisk you away on the journey of a lifetime. Now, Dead Spices is bringing you a straightforward flavor that is authentically natural for tasty meals. Their spices are crafted carefully, ensuring that every sprinkle bursts with a genuine taste made right here in Ghana. It's time to elevate your flavors with Dead Spices. They've got noodles, the varieties like noodles, all-purpose stew, jollof, curry, and nutmeg powder, and they come in various sizes and prices. Call 0531-105-545. Dead Spices, taste day inside.
Now we have loads of your messages coming in on their great conversation. We'll be sharing them with you shortly. In the meantime, whether you're an importer, exporter, or you're involved in any form of international trade, Bank of Africa is here to provide you all that you need, all the support you need to make all those cross-border trade transactions seamless. We have presence in over 30 countries across Africa, Asia, North America, and Europe. We provide tailor-made trade finance solutions such as warehousing financing, discounting of receivables, local and offshore guarantees, remittance of export proceeds across the WIMO region, and so much more. So call us on 0302-429-333 or 0302-249-690 or visit any of our branches nationwide, and let's do business together. Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
Now, your living room deserves class, warmth, and memory for your family and friends who visit your home. That's why Ashfoam is producing a masterclass range of sofas and couches to fit in every corner and space in your living room or balcony. Call 0243 200 729 or 0559 027 907 or visit any of their showrooms in all the big malls and other locations near you. Free delivery to your doorstep, and you need to be mindful of internet fraudsters. Be an Ashfoamer now. Ashfoam, feel it, know it.
Feel it, know it, that's it. Now imagine buying and selling across Africa from the comfort of your home or office without changing your currency. Imagine doing this with your own mobile wallet. This is possible with interoperability of payments. The Africa Prosperity Network is hosting the continent-wide mobile interoperability symposium on July 5th at the Labadi Beach Hotel in Accra. It's under the theme Scaling Up Interoperability, using mobile money to buy and sell across Africa. It's a groundbreaking event bringing together leaders and policymakers to integrate mobile payment systems and remove barriers across borders. And then it also supports AFTA's Digital Trade Protocol Initiative, highlighting the importance of interoperability in African Union Agenda 2063. We are advancing interoperable mobile money platforms, and it will unlock new opportunities, drive economic growth, and empower small businesses like never before. So be part of building an interconnected, prosperous African economy. Register now at register.africaprosperitynetwork.com. Call this number 053 609 8325 or 0302 737 879. Leave us a message. Protocol at africaprosperity.network. The future of borderless mobile commerce starts here. Now we'll jump on to some of your messages that have come through, and then we'll bring you excerpts of that conversation as well. I've seen that Africa Education Watch has also petitioned to make practical agriculture a foundation course in the new draft secondary education curriculum. So we'll bring you that angle to the conversation as well. In the meantime, Nathan Adelaide is writing from Kuntun. Say what she's saying.
Well, she says agric is no longer a standalone subject at the primary school level, which contributes to the youth not going into agriculture because we do not cultivate the joy for it early. Currently, the government claims to have merged agriculture with integrated science. However, very little agric is covered at all. Let's bring back agriculture as a standalone subject in primary school so we can create the love for it in our young ones.
Right, Adelaide. Africa Education Watch has written extensively and petitioned on that, so I'll bring you details of that angle as well.
Okay, this one says, Charlie, agribusiness is never cheap. Let's say you want a piece of land in Accra. It will cost you. Outside Accra isn't cheap anymore, and you're traveling there weekly to monitor isn't cheap either. Not to talk of labor that's loyal. There's no help for the sector, basically. Sad. This one says, Bernard, this farm thing, those of us who decided to invest everything we had into farming are on our own. The noise seems to be a radio thing. There's a lot to talk about. Boache, the boss farmer. This one says, I'm a young guy in my mid-30s. I'm very interested in farming, but to get land now is not as easy as before. Then we come to planting and nursing, and for the plants to grow, that's also a lot of money. Now, how to get your produce to market also becomes a burden. If the government can help us, the youth, in accessing land or to access land grants and maybe warehouses to store our produce where there's more harvest, at least your produce will not produce at a loss, even if you don't have a big market to supply to or to supply Robert Lai in Ashoman. This one says, see the support in the Agric and TVET areas from GEA, U-Start and all those similar program. Even 1D, 1F is all tailored to the party folks. Ordinary young people without any form of a link or connection do not benefit. So you must necessarily know someone or pay your way through or forget it. You see the same faces, and some are even just used as conduits to siphon the cash and support from these programs. But you won't find any farmer who has genuinely been supported by the government. I decided to go into farming about 5 years ago. It was surprising that everything has been politicized to the extent that fertilizer for cocoa farmers is shared based on political affiliations. I don't even accept it because the farmer won't get enough to match the size of his farm. I buy it with hard cash. I can't say a lot here, but I bet you farming alone has the capacity to change the destiny of Ghana for the better. I do rice, coconut, palm, maize, cassava, and vegetables. How I wish the banks or the government would support farmers with loans which do not have killer interest rates.
We have some more messages.
Yes, Abdul says he's in the Upper East region. He says farming is not as cheap as we think it is. And the young ones that want to be involved do not even have the resources. Imagine plowing an acre with a tractor now. It's 250 cedis, just 5 acres, and you're already over 1,000. And you don't even know if you get a good yield. If you have been unemployed and you want to venture into farming, where exactly do you get the capital from? If you enter animal farming, let's say poultry, the government who is importing chicken, so who wants yours? And can you even compete with the prices? Have you seen the price of a bag of maize you use for feed? As for the land tenure system, it's a problem and you will struggle, but there's always a way out. To be honest, the government has done almost zero to make it easy for young people to venture into agriculture. Recently, tomato prices have skyrocketed. Tomatoes are best done with irrigation. Can you buy fuel to water your plants morning and evening? There is zero deliberate effort to make agriculture easy to venture into.
Okay, so those were some of your comments that have been coming in. We'll take you into that lecture that was delivered yesterday, and I will get into more on this particular conversation. So we start with Francis Poku, who's been speaking on national security, food, unemployment, and everything in between.
My advice always is that there are 3 courts. We have the court of law, where you can wriggle your way out. We have the court of public opinion, and that is what you must watch. The other court, you will not see it until it's too late, the court of God. So you can pass the first test, but the question you ask yourself, do people really believe me? And that is why when I used to go for my presidential briefing, I will just give a summary of the court of public opinion. What you have said, did they believe you really? So we have to send people to do the public reaction reports to point us that what we have said, is it believed? So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm making a safe prediction that the face of democracy must change. It has to change. So in this, I'm going to try and let's reflect. Happily enough, whoever organized this occasion makes it a reflection. So let's reflect, beginning with the preamble of our Constitution. That is not a main body, not part of the body of the law. It stands above the law. It is exterior to human actions, and it is telling us what we can do to be safe in this country. It is very important. In Czech, we call something like catastrophe or sin. When evil doing is going on, it comes out with some catastrophe. And if it is not controlled, then that's the beginning of the end. And as I said, I made this clear prediction. 76, there was one Dr. Gardner. We went to his house, presented the report, and said, this is what we are heading. So no, Ghana there is Romoja. No, and it happened in our faces. So let us go through some of the issues that we need to meditate on, reflect on, and lay the foundation for proper democracy in this country. If we pretend that we are going to stay with public opinion where you can send commentators and people to defend you, to let people believe, you are just not facing the realities. So 2025 safe prediction, by God's grace, we will get through the 2024, because I am convinced that all the existing political parties believe in democracy. And we can see the process. From all the years even of military rule, the same people who were with the military are the ones who prepared for the exit. And looking at the history at that time, when I returned in 2001, I knew that the process had started long before. It has started. So all the political parties, those in opposition demonstrating against military rule, they were all part of the process. So there should be no room for hatred. But together, if there are threats, let us come together and face a serious problem. Because I am telling you authoritatively, people are losing confidence in democracy. And the instant reaction, we the Nkasoja for cry. It shouldn't be so. So if you look at the national security document, these situations are high alert, emergency. We are sounding the alarm that if we don't correct it, the nation is about to sink. And it belongs to tier 1 of the assessment. So let us look at it. This is from the national security strategy. These are the alert signals. If these things are happening, then we are called to mobilize and fight it together as a nation. What are these? We have internal conflict. Of course, currently, Boko is happening, maybe a couple of hotspots. And then we have violent extremism across the border, and there's collaboration, thanks to the noble efforts of the security services. And then we have maritime security. The last time I was somewhere, what I gathered was that the Delta, these Delta people from this is Niger Delta, because our coast was not protected, they will come and take hostages in our territorial waters and take them to bargain as hostages. So maritime security should have been done over the years. And as I said, whatever is not done is not assignable to a particular regime. As a matter of strategy, we have not really addressed our military challenges very well. This is, and we take all the African countries. They have patrols and all the equipment necessary to protect their coastline. But because ours was unprotected, I hope it has been done now, that means they will come and take hostages all over to Nigeria to get their money. Corruption, that is high alert. So people should be mobilized by now to be handling that. So these are tier 1. We have youth unemployment, the employment issue. There must be strategies to try and deal with it. So they require interagency cooperation. And of course, we bring in private sector, because if we are saying it's unemployment, these issues that affect all of us, then definitely we have to think of private sector. And what we have to do is to create the environment for them to assist in our national security strategies. And we'll be saying that even the military, there are initiatives that we can encourage the military to undertake through field engineers as to how they can collaborate in the economic development strategies of this country. So these must all be explored, especially now that the military really is trying to turn a new corner, to try and make them effective and efficient in our national security agenda, development agenda. So this is an area that we need to explore.
Good. So those were the excerpts of yesterday's lecture delivered by former National Security Minister Francis Poku, expressing concerns about security situation, unemployment, food insecurity, and a host of other issues he talked about. Professor Kwesi Enin was there as well, and he gave a review of the lecture. We'll take his, and then when we are back, we have more on this particular one.
For the sake of the conversation, let me raise a couple of questions. How does the military get a voice? Because from my reading of the parliamentary Hansard and from the utterances that are made, one gets the impression that the voice is hardly there. How do we get the military to engage oversight institutions that takes decisions that affects them? And once more, I think Mr. Poku makes a very good point about what is happening elsewhere. And I think he made some predictions, I think was it in 1975. I have made predictions since 2020, and 5 of them have come true, so I have stopped making predictions. But somewhere in this presentation also, the disturbances in the Sahel and the changing geopolitics on the sub-region have been mentioned. These disturbances haven't come out of the blue. Coup d'etats happen when those who govern democratically think they have a God-given right to take their citizenry for granted and deliberately undermine state institutions and prevent them from delivering the public goods that those institutions must deliver. So in Guinea, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, state institutions fail to deliver. But even more disturbingly, and here I want to go back to Mr. Poku and talk about ECOWAS as the entrepreneur for our normative framework about respect for the rule of law, respect for human rights, but more importantly, respect for the democratic ethos about listening to citizens' concerns and the way that you manage the public purse. In Guinea, looting the public purse became part of the political game. In Mali, the political elite looted the state treasury as if it was their private purse. In Burkina Faso, there was no differentiation between the public and the private purse, similar to Niger. What this leads to is that we need to question the nature of the relationship. We need to question what exists between the legislature and the executive, but also that we need to bring our minds around the questions of giving people a voice, not least the military. And I think they are quite different structures. And I think I can see the minister scribbling the Armed Forces Council for one, and then of course his own parliamentary committee. But we need an engaged, robust conversation behind closed doors. It's not every conversation that must be within the public space. But how must this engagement be crafted? How do we deal with the frustrations that can arise from those who are legally mandated to handle the tools of violence? And I think Mr. Poku captures this as an octogenarian. I think it gives him some leeway to shoot from the hip. But I will try to follow his footsteps. So let me now speak specifically to some of the things that Mr. Poku spoke about. And I want to repeat a few of them. One is about 2025. The second, quote, the people are losing confidence in democracy. But Mr. Poku also tells us about the National Security Strategy document and the Intelligence and Security Services Act 1030 of 2020. Minister, Your uniformed men haven't seen this document, and a lot of them haven't read it. That poses a problem. And it's not only the military. Less than 5% of all uniformed people in this country have seen and read this document. So the fantastic preamble to this document, in which we want to project ourselves on the global stage, is not read nor understood by those who need to create the building blocks for Ghana to project itself this way. So the empty rhetoric is fantastic. The detail, as Mr. Poku says, or the devil is in the detail. Two-horned devil that I'm talking about a four-horned devil, meaning that we are in a very bad space. Furthermore, Mr. Poku talks about operations not being politicized. That, I think we all know the answer to. So what are the main threats to our security that the military must look at? Mr. Poku talks about, I think, high threats. These are consistently, they are very fluid and keep on moving and shaping. So today it might be violent extremism, tomorrow it might be about sanitation. But the abiding and consistent threat to this country is corruption. We've become so corrupt that is the glue that binds this nation. And I think for the military, there needs to be this consistent analysis and threat assessment about what the net impact of corruption is, what are the networks, what are the interdependencies and interrelationships, and how, and then what are the tools for response. Part of Ghana's stability, Mr. Poku frames it as a question. Are we ready as a nation? What is the way to go in preventing a spillover of anarchy? And once more, I want to come back to our analytical capacity of bringing what we see as the threat together, but even more importantly, the way that analysis and the conclusions are subjected to those who need to make the final decision for the military to act.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.
Every day, guns blazing, an innocent life wasted. The world gone crazy. Who's gonna save it? Every day, guns blazing, an innocent life wasted. Turn on your radio, it's murder. You turn on your TV, disaster. The cost of living is getting higher. Politicians are gambling with the future. People suffering everywhere, wasting money on military wear. We're living on the edge. Say a prayer for the world. Yeah, the world gone crazy. Who's gonna save it? Every day, guns blazing, an innocent life wasted. The world gone crazy, crazy. Who's gonna save it? Every day, guns blazing, an innocent life wasted.
What's mine is yours, and yours is mine. That's how it's supposed to be. Take care of me, I take care of you. That's all the world needs, yeah. And we go win, we go win, we go win, we go win. As long as we stay together, stop all of these wars. What are we fighting for? All we need is love.
Where do we go from here is the song Efia Ruta is singing. And you heard Professor Kwesi Enin and then also Mrs. Frances Puku, former National Security Minister. Their reflections on our democratic journey so far, the control over the military, and the refrain is that people are losing hope in this democracy. The enterprise of democracy is not delivering, and once there is a lack of hope among the youth, there is food insecurity and there is corruption, or the perception of the prevalence of corruption. You have a perfect mix for an insecure, republic. And so they've been giving the warnings that we need to do things right. And it will appear that across the continent and indeed around the world, if you monitor a lot of media outlets, there's a lot of, disquiet. A lot of people are not happy. Many people, I should say, are not happy. And the interesting thing is that while I was away, I had other colleagues from other African countries, and when we talk about the fact that fuel prices have gone up here in Ghana, your friends in Nigeria will tell you that, it's gone up in Nigeria, but we don't even have access to the product to buy. We have to queue for so long, and only to get told that, look, there's no fuel, we've run out of fuel, and it's a very bizarre situation. You tell people that, look, the cedi is trading to the dollar at 16, then they tell you the kwacha is 24, right? And then while you're at it, then the youth in Kenya are protesting over, taxes they find to be very regressive, and it appears that we are in a very difficult place across the continent. Every country's the youth in most countries are not very satisfied with the quality of leadership and service that they are getting from their leaders. And so very interesting warning signs to our leaders, and everyone's saying the next government is going to have a very difficult time. I'll play a 2-minute audio for you and our listeners to listen to. This is a Rwandan young man, right? And we're on a campaign ground. This was a campaign ground. And if you talk to a good number of the youth in Rwanda, the kind of hopelessness you feel from the Ghanaian youth is a very sharp contrast. And I'll tell you what, on our way, while on the flight, there was a gentleman sitting on my left, and I happened to speak to him. He's a 26-year-old Ghanaian. And guess where he was going? He was transiting through Kigali to go to Dubai. And what was his journey? What was his aim for traveling? His point is, he's been done with senior high school in the last 4 years. He's been an Okada rider. While in high school, he was a cadet officer. And so his life's aim and dream is to join the police, is to join the military. But for a very long time, anytime he tries to apply, he's asked to pay some amount of money. And for that, he feels that it's not an equitable society. It doesn't give him equal access. The circumstance of his birth and the conditions of his living does not give him fair opportunity to serve the country. And so he feels that, look, he doesn't have any chance at making it here. We'll be speaking more on this security conversation and the corruption and how creating equal access for every young person will help, give people hope in this enterprise of democracy that we call. I'll be bringing that voice of the Rwandan, I promised you, a bit later. But we have Colonel Festus Abuaje on the line. He's a security analyst, and we'll be talking to him very quickly on the perception of the prevalence of corruption and the fact that a lot of people feel they do not have hope, they do not have a chance at making it, and its security implications on the back of the conversation we've been having, where the former National Security Minister Francis Puku is warning that people are disillusioned about our democratic journey, and it exposes us to insecurity. Colonel Festus Abuaje, thank you for joining us on the Citi Breakfast Show. I trust you are doing well.
Inshallah. We're fine.
It's good to have you. Is our democracy delivering hope for its people, especially the young? I'm sure you've been listening to the lecture and excerpts we've brought so far and the calls by Francis Puku. From where you stand, are we delivering?
Well, thanks for having me. I listened to bits and pieces of the lecture yesterday on radio, from your channel, and then when I got home, a bit of it on TV, and then some excerpts this morning. When you ask me whether democracy is delivering or not, the answer is an emphatic no. Democracy is not delivering. And this erroneous misconception on the part of politicians and several people that democracy means every 4 years we go and queue and then we vote a government, some people into government, and that is democracy. That is not democracy. What are the reasons why we elect people into office? We elect them so that they will manage the affairs of the state, the economics, the social aspects, the political aspects, the security aspects, the governance aspects, all aspects, to improve upon the livelihoods or the well-being of the people. Now, what we've seen over the last 7 years, to use it as a time frame, is not democracy. The well-being of the individual has worsened. And the data is in the statistical services data that this, learned friend comes to read out. We cannot manage the city. We cannot stabilize it. Since prices have gone through the roof, I don't go to the market, but let me take medications that I buy, not that I'm chronically ill. Some of the prices have gone up 3 times. And when I say 3 times, I'm talking about medication that is 200 cedis, that now sells close to 700 Ghana cedis. You see, fuel prices have gone through the roof. I believe yesterday or so it's gone up again. And yes, salaries or incomes have not gone up. By the way, when we talk about salaries, I'm well informed that we are talking about the so-called Chapter 71 or Article 71, who are about less than 800,000 Ghanaians out of the 30-something million. Now, out of this number, we are talking about the top bracket. You see, the executive plus the legislature and so on and so forth, who go home with fat salaries and cooks allowances and transport allowances and this and that allowances, and yet have their vehicles fueled by the state on weekends to travel around Asante Achim and every part of the country attending funerals in their constituencies. Meanwhile, there are people that the state has employed who for several months are not paid. And there are those that the state has not even created the environment for them to get employment. In other words, we have voted for people to now milk us. And those were some of the points, Of course, I don't agree with not that I don't agree with everything that the speaker said, but the way and manner in which he articulated the views, it was touch and go, touch and go, touch and go, without depth, without scope. But that's the reality. That all the monies that we are borrowing, we still can't find the money in the lives of the individuals. And that is not democracy. Then we come to the topic of corruption, let's say. Now, how can you be in a democracy where you claim that you are based on the rule of law? And a minister of state, look, I'm an ordinary soldier. I joined before I went to university. I haven't gone to university. But I know enough during my professional education in the armed forces and elsewhere that all public laws or all laws in a democracy must be publicly promulgated. No minister has got the prerogative of going to buy medicines or medications for the country, and that has not gone to Parliament to be promulgated. And the minister is spending millions of cedis or dollars to buy us vaccines. And the minister comes, I was confused. And nothing happens to him, not a scratch on his skin. And he remains in office until he retires or he resigns. Is that democracy? That's not democracy. You see what I mean? The sanctions don't apply.
I get you.
The checks and balances don't apply.
Is it the democracy that is failing, or is the political class that is failing us?
Democracy as an institution, as a concept, as a practice, has to be applied. Now, the education is where we are going wrong, because if it was possible for the 30-something million people to apply the principles of democracy, we would have done it, like the olden days of the Greeks. But because we can't do it in this modern era, that is why we have bought into the concept of representation in a legislature, and then to have an executive, and then to have the judiciary. From the president down, you don't get this kind of authority being used to manage the affairs of the state. So I cannot go and sanction the minister. Where are the institutions and the individuals that must sanction the minister? Nobody. You take public safety, public law and order, and you have a minister, not even a minister, a parliamentary candidate using an unlicensed arm and firing in public, and nothing happened to her. Meanwhile, we've got the institutions. We've got the CID, we've got the Yoko, we've got this, we've got that. Nobody touched that woman. And she became a minister. She's still a minister. That's not democracy. That's when I spoke to somebody about this lecture, I thought the theme was the democratic control of the armed forces. Now, what I heard yesterday was not about that theme. It was about a whole lot of things that had nothing to do with the democratic control of the armed forces. But if we have stuck by that theme, then you take Ejura and you take Ayawaso and you take Ashama, you take this, you take that. Then you ask yourself, where are the democratic structures, institutions, and individuals that must exercise how the armed forces applies the force, the coercive force or tools that it has? They have all been compromised, because I'll keep on saying that the people in authority are misusing the armed forces. The simple ones are the soldiers in uniform with arms, carrying the handbags of lawyers going to represent a political party. That's one example. Another example is a soldier following the attorney general going to court. Is that how we went to the military academy and training schools to be trained to carry handbags? When the Queen of England carries her own handbag and carries her own umbrella, and it does not detract at all from her status as the Queen of England. But what about that MP who sits on UTV almost every morning? When we were electing the Speaker of the House, January 2017, was it 6-7, into the night, into early 7th January 2021. The Speaker in this country, the architecture of power, is the third in the hierarchy of power. So when we're electing a Speaker, we are virtually electing a potential president of this country. Now, that member in the House who went and grabbed ballot papers, disturbed that, went away with his life. But at the same time, there were 8 or more who died. They died at the hands of people, bearing arms, who should not have used the arms in the way in which they were used. In fact, some of them should not even have been deployed at the place. And Kenya gives us very good examples. Granted that they have all their challenges. When was the last time you and I, any Ghanaian, saw or heard about a public gazette notice from the executive, the state, saying that ordinarily I must not use the armed forces in this country But under the circumstances in Kenya, on this 25th day of June, I have directed that the armed forces must be deployed and read the words to support the police. To do what? To maintain law and order. When was the last time that a public gazette notice was issued? So there's no democracy. That's the point I'm trying to make. The democracy is not being practiced in the spirit and letter in which it must be applied.
So now,
you see what I mean? And that is the danger, because slowly it's like those who walk when they are sleeping. Our eyes are open.
Hello, Keno.
Mr. Francis Poku came and drew our attention to. By the way, let me finish on this. In Kenya, one of the things that caused the upheaval, once again, was failure of intelligence. The business of national intelligence is to gauge the mood, and I'm using mood in a very liberal sense. You know, how are the people faring? Are they eating? Can they access health delivery services? You know, can they, you know, are they safe in their houses? The Kenyan intelligence failed to inform the executive about the mood of the youth, the so-called Gen Z. If they did, then the executive ignored them. So in this country, I'm asking, all the institutions that we've set up, especially the National Security Institution, which is now a ministry, what information are they gathering? Forget about intelligence. Go misuse the word. I posted it on Facebook this morning. It's simple information. You go to market, people say the price of Banku has gone up, the price of this has gone up, tomato has gone up. That is information. It's not intelligence. You've not processed it. When you process it and you begin to extrapolate, you know, the repercussions and the ramifications for this and that, that becomes intelligence. Or the likelihood that is going to lead into some upheaval, that becomes intelligence. But even if we provided the intel, where is the action? There's no action.
So I mean,
there's a lot that we need to do. That, in fact, for me, I'm going to write an article. The last 8 years and the entire 32 years of this democracy has been wasted opportunity for the entire country. Because when we moved away from military rule, everything that we said happened during revolutions and mutinies and coups that we didn't want. We should have made a deliberate, conscious effort to move away from them. We cannot be in a democracy, and yet police and soldiers can go around without any executive authority. You know, to kill, to shoot, to kill, to land guard, you know, to carry the handbags of people and this and that and that. That's not democracy.
Right. Very grim picture you're painting here. Now, we have several organs of the state, right? And part of the conversation we are having that is leading to people losing hope in the country is corruption. The fact that some people can engage in unbridled loot of the nation's resources that's meant for everyone's well-being and end up walking free. So I take you to some other African countries, for example. If you go to Reuters on November 27, 2019, it reports that Namibia arrests former justice minister in fishing scandal. And this is a former minister. At the time he was arrested, actually, he was a sitting minister. If you go to Rwanda also, and this is an online portal, Crime Reports, the former IGP in Rwanda, Emmanuel Gasana, was also arrested for some offenses. And as we speak, he's currently in jail. In fact, both gentlemen are in jail. You think that actions like this, where people who are in authority found culpable are actually made to face the law, give the youth some hope and the citizenry some hope in the system of democracy, that everyone is equal before the law. Now, when you compare these two stories that I've shared with you to what happens in Ghana and some examples that will come to mind, would you say that the judiciary is failing, the executive is failing, or the legislature that has oversight responsibility is letting us down?
Well, you've given one too many examples. Indeed, there are several more. In an article I'm writing about the South African elections, there are examples that I've come across of people who have gone to jail, including the woman who died, who was the former chief executive of South African Airways and so on. They're all before court. The former president, Jacob Zuma, went to court and went to jail. Former president, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Here, nobody goes to jail. Nobody has gone to jail, to the best of my knowledge. And those who have gone to jail because they have been, if you like, guinea picked, and used as an example, and that is the end of it. But let me use this narrative, assuming that the story is true. That Ameri deal, the 100 million that was slapped on top of the actual value of the deal, who were the entities that were involved? The one that got Ejakun, Boachie Ejakun, to be sacked.
I think he resigned.
If there are anecdotes, assuming there are anecdotes, and the anecdotes are about the president of the state and the people around him, including family and friends, and nothing happens to the president, and nothing happens to those around him, then how do we check corruption? That's 100 million, if the figure is right. 2 million is mentioned with regards to, is it 2 million with the Pualugu Dam? The Sky Train, was it another 2 million? Then there's another 12 million mentioned in respect of stuff. I mean, these days, the amounts of monies being mentioned are huge. Years ago, we thought that these amounts could only be mentioned with regards to Kenya and with regards to Ghana. Now they are with regards to Nigeria, sorry. They are being mentioned with regards to us. So, the question is, as you asked, where is the CIA? Where is the OSP? Where is the YOP? Where is the financial, blah, 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 FIT Center, crime? We've created all the structures. So on the last celebration of the Corruption Perception Index, we went to the Teachers College. Then the so-called chief of staff from Jubilee House, Flagstaff House, came and read a statement about the achievements of this government. And the achievements were the institutions, the laws that the government has created. Now, laws alone do not make a democracy. If you pass the laws and you don't apply them, then you are as worse as having not passed the laws at all, because the laws are not respected. And the laws are not respected even by those who pass them and who have the first responsibility to apply them.
So, Kendall, let me ask you a very direct question. I mean, are we really able to execute these examples we talk of? Because, for example, we say that all the organs of state are independent, there must be separation of powers, they must be checking each other. But here you have the executive appointing members of the judiciary, at least to the Supreme Courts. You have the executive also appointing members of the legislature as members of cabinet or ministers. So it appears all power is vested in the executive, and a lot is done at the whim of the executive. So are we truly looking at having our institutions function in a way that will be independent, so that justice will be seen and felt to be done? Have we set up ourselves for these examples to happen here?
No, I think our leaders are hypocrites.
Hello, Keno. Keno, sorry, yes. I lost you a bit, so please take that again.
Yes. I say our leaders are hypocrites. They claim before they came to power that they are Democrats. So if you are a Democrat and you have now the reins of power in your hands, and you see that to be truly democratic, we need to review and amend or reform or whatever of this constitution, why don't you take the steps to do that? So you have one government that comes and sets up a constitutional review committee, several hundred pages long. We don't do anything about that. Another government comes, doesn't do anything. And then another government comes at the tail end, what we call the exit terminal stages. It sets up another, process or sets in motion another process to review the constitution. The idea is that our leaders are not serious about changing the constitution or reviewing the constitution in order to remove all the loopholes and make our democracy to work better. That's a clear example. You see, the other example is, even if the constitution has loopholes, we all have consciences, don't we? We all have consciences. And sometimes we know that something that we're about to do can have very serious repercussions, especially if you're a leader ruling over 32 million thereabout people. So there are certain practices that you don't do. And indeed, if you castigated your predecessor on questions of family and friends and chronism and whatever it is, the way you come to power, you try to steer away from that. In other words, if we have tried incrementally to outdo one another in good practices, not bad practices. Now, the equalization is a competition about mediocrity. It's a competition about non-performance. It's a competition about wrongdoing. That is what our political parties are engaged in. They are not engaged in a scenario where one government came and did X, Y, Z, another government came and did A, B, C, and incrementally you could see the strategic effect. One argument I've been making elsewhere is that, look, with all the so-called 1 trillion economy, where is the strategic impact? You can see it. If you gave me 1 trillion cedis or dollars to spend, I must sit down, even as a soldier, and then determine what are the things that I could do with $1 trillion, but in such a way that they will connect with one another. That after 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and so on, you see that this country has moved forward. No Ghanaian who is objective can tell us that all the money that we spend, the so-called debt that we have, run ourselves into for the future generation, and not even my children, but my grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and yours also, will come to live in a Ghana where our roads infrastructure are good. Look, some time ago I heard somebody talk about Domiko Abenya. Drive to Domiko Abenya now and see the roads. Every road that politicians pride themselves on or about, a lot of that money has gone into corrupt pockets. The roads don't last as long as they should last. So we keep spending money, But we are spending the money in order that, our roads will just be about, usable. The majority of the roads are not even, asphalted or tarmac or whatever it is.
In all these, Kano, I've heard people say that leaders are a reflection of the people they lead. And so, we've had situations where one leader will come and say, okay, we are going to make Accra clean again. And the people around him, the citizens will fight these developments. Initiatives come that are supposed to help us have a more orderly city. Our roads, driving will be safer for everyone. And you find that the people are resisting all these things. So just to wrap up on this with what we are also supposed to do, again, it is said that we are very passive citizens. We go to vote and then we go to bed expecting our leaders to come do magic. Is that a thing that happens? Don't we have a role to play? Do we not have responsibilities in, one, holding our leaders accountable, and then two, also actively playing a collaborative role with the leadership we get, so that even if you have bad leaders with good laws and active, vigilant, watchful citizens, you can have nothing else but good results?
that is the case, that all of us have a responsibility to ensure that our democracy functions and delivers. But as I suggested earlier, even if 30 million Ghanaians are not taken to the streets, it doesn't mean that they are daft, that they don't know what is going on. Even if they are not being, violent or riotous or whatever it is. It doesn't mean that. Elsewhere, I was given two options for the youth to be called upon to take to the streets as in Kenya. Now I chose the other option, that the onus is on the leadership of this country to sit up and govern this country in a way that they will uphold spirit and letter of the Constitution. That is a better option, rather than to expect that we're going to do everything wrong until the people took to the streets. Today, I'm told in Kenya, the so-called honorables, with all the flashing lights and flags on their vehicles, all of those things have disappeared because they are scared that if they dare drive around the city of Nairobi, or for that matter, any other city in Kenya, they will be targeted. Now, do we need to come to the brink before we wake up? The woman who said she was going to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa, to start with, she must not have done that, said that. And if she said that, if I were in her shoes, I would have had a plan of segmenting Accra and then cleaning up, those kinds of segments in sequence, so that by the end of a certain period, you find Accra, clean. Or I'll take, if you like, thematically, say gutters, say drains, say markets, for instance, say toilets. She came and made this, flamboyant speech. She now has millions of currencies sitting in her house. And people that we expect should know better. I'm not going to mention names. People that we expect should know better, including from the president down, are saying that none of us can prove that the woman stole the money, and therefore she's entitled to keep the money. How can any minister who earns 25,000 Ghana cedis a month end up with those monies in her house?
Right, Colonel.
How then?
Colonel, thank you. We'll leave it here and talk some other time. But it's always refreshing talking to you. Colonel Festus Abuaje, you heard him on the line reflecting on the lecture that was delivered yesterday, talking about corruption, democracy, whether all of this is delivering. We're talking about the fact that a lot more young people should be encouraged to get into agriculture, but are the youth even interested in going there? How can we reduce corruption and create an equitable society for everyone to thrive? Richard Alaska is in the studio. Nathan Kwao is here. Some of your messages have come through and we'll be sharing them with you. But Sky, before I invite you to share your thoughts, I want to play a 2-minute audio. This is an interaction I had with a Rwandan young man. Obviously, the background is a bit spirited. It was a campaign platform. We'll go into the question of democracy, whether or not Africans as we are should fashion something that works for us based on who we are, where we are, and the kind of system that works for us. This is 97.3 Citi FM, Citi Breakfast Show, having a big conversation on everything, including our well-being and welfare. So hear this conversation I had with this young man. I'll be back. We'll talk some more.
What about you? I see you are happy. You're Johnny Kagame, always my choice. Yeah. Why is Kagame always your choice?
No, I think it's simple. One, if you look at what is sacrificed for this country, we can only pay back like on days like this. We don't get an opportunity to do that for so many years. If you're Rwandan, if you're young, even if you don't make it, you have hope. For me, that's a big deal. Wow. With providing stability, providing opportunity, and knowing that it will come even if it doesn't come now. Wow. You know, I've had an opportunity to go to a few other African countries. You don't find that. So, for me, that hope is everything.
Let's talk about the other African countries you visited. I am coming from Ghana, and I'm with colleague journalists. I'm from Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania. And the complaint is that times are difficult. There's a global recession. Things are really difficult. And a lot of Africans are migrating. Is that the feeling in Rwanda, that times are hard and people are leaving?
No, we are not spared from world problems like anyone else. The difference is we believe in our leadership, and our leadership, whatever they're doing, we know they're working for us. I've been to Kenya, I've been to Tanzania, I've been to Ghana once as well. I think that's the difference, is that despite the issues, you don't believe that your leadership is fighting for you or with you. So that's the difference. We are not saying things are perfect here, but things are getting better, and our leadership is with us.
What is Paul doing differently that his peers, say, William Ruto, Akufo-Addo, what's his name, Tinubu, and the others are not doing right? What would you say Paul is doing extraordinarily?
I think one, he works for the people, and he takes responsibility, and he holds people accountable. The countries that I've been to in Africa, like our leaders are different. You know, a minister has no escort, they are servants. And they know that if they mess up, someone else will come.
You have 7 ministers.
We have ministers, I don't know the number, to be honest. But like, if you meet a minister on the street, you won't know this is a minister.
You are kidding me.
Yeah, they are servants. They are civil servants, and they know they work for the people. And the moment you start thinking otherwise, you're not in that position. So I would say for me, that's the biggest difference, is working with people that he holds accountable. And that's how the average person benefits.
Sky, prior to the 2016 election, I'm sure you listened to this gentleman very well. The kind of narrative this gentleman was sharing with me about their leader was what I heard about one of the candidates in the elections, that here was someone who doesn't tolerate corruption, here was someone who was a human rights activist, here was someone who had the development of the country at heart. And so, look, things were going to change if we offered him that chance. We're in the 8th year of President Akufo-Addo's government, and there is, like you heard in the conversation, Kenyans are complaining, Nigerians are complaining, Tanzanians, Zambians, and Rwandans don't seem to be complaining, because he says that it's not as if they are exempt from the challenges that the entire world is facing, but they feel that their leadership is fighting with them, that their leaders are serving them. And then you hear Colonel Festus Abuaji talk about how we have reduced soldiers to holding handbags and following leaders and all that kind of thing. What has gone wrong? I don't know how to put this, but yeah. What has gone wrong? Because obviously from all the conversations, we are not satisfied. Ghanaians are not happy with what is going on.
Well, that is the truth. It is as if, in many ways, leadership hasn't learned from history. The reason saviors emerge is the existence of a problem almost everybody sees. And then they say they have a solution to the problem. In the absence of problems, you hardly would ever see someone emerge saying that I am the savior to save you, right? So why did Nkrumah emerge? To end colonial rule in our country, which was a problem. Which we said the colonialists were ripping us off. They were looting our resources, taking them, putting them onto ships, sending them away, and building their empires. So Nkrumah emerged. He did his part. Why did the generals emerge? The generals emerged to topple Nkrumah because they said there was a problem, that he was a problem for this country. He was not leading us in the right direction. people say he was too concerned about things happening outside of Ghana, not solving our problems as a people. And therefore, the generals took him out with the support of Western allies and security services, as we understand it from history. And how did the generals become toppled themselves? They have stayed on for years. Accusations of looting, corruption, and all kinds of things made against them from within their own camps. So, one after the other, they kept toppling each other, right? And then ultimately, we saw the return of, constitutional rule in part, again toppled, because people felt that there was a problem and they were the saviors to save the situation. Fast forward, the emergence of J.J. Rawlings to end all coups. According to him, people were hungry. The elites were speaking big English. They were not addressing the hunger of the people. He did not understand economics, as he said, but he understood it when he was hungry. You understand?
Yeah,
so he meant
pangs of hunger.
Exactly. To solve the problems of the masses. The junior ranks within the army took up arms against the officers and toppled the constitutional regime that was, first of all, was against, an unconstitutional regime. Subsequently, they took out the Liban regime, which was elected to replace a military dictatorship. Then we saw the return to constitutional rule. And we've been doing this for what? Over 30 years. Now, from everything that has been said, the question we should ask ourselves is whether democracy has provided the answer.
Or the political class running the democracy delivering the answer.
On every evidence available, it is as though the current frame, shape, form, substance, and the style of our democracy has not delivered the goods. The reason being that those who are the key players within the field have failed to do their part. Who are the players? First of all, the masses are there. The politicians are there. The institutions of democracy. Talk about the executive, the parliament, the courts, the civil society institutions, the trade unions, the opinion leaders, the traditional leaders. All of these people play their part in policing the democracy. But leadership has got to be provided. But it is as though we are not getting that leadership. And where do I start from? The presidency. When the president declared that, look, COVID has created a problem, because up until the time that COVID struck, the view of the world was that Ghana was doing well.
Yeah.
We do not know how to bring people back to life, but we know how to bring economies back to life when the economy dies, right? That's what we're told. But some way, somehow, COVID became the basis for ripping off the Ghanaian. It provided a fertile opportunity for people who we have entrusted with the resources of this country to work to our benefit, to use that as a scheme to fill their pockets. The reports are there.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, that's right. There are all kinds of claims being made about the report. Parliament is to decide on it. But the verdict as we speak is that COVID provided a sure way for people to line their pockets. And that was a huge disservice to the people of Ghana. You don't say that you are helping the people using the opportunities provided by people's kindness, the kindness of other countries. And then political party people were taking the money, chiefs were being given the money. It was like they were sharing it left, right, and center. And billions of Ghana cedis lost as a result. The economy is suffering today as a result of some of those excesses, some of the levels of misgovernance that we have seen. Now, ideally, when things like that happen, someone has got to be providing the checks.
the Parliament of the Republic. We should be applying the brakes. We have a parliament that is virtually incapable of calling to order an executive branch that is acting outside its scope of authority, or that is basically behaving like an unruly horse. Because, again, the experts will tell you of the fusion. You have majority of the president's ministers coming in from parliament, and therefore they do not seem to have the requisite size of kahunas to call the president to order where there are excesses. Of course, the opposition people will try their part, but the question is, how much is done to ensure that the executive is held accountable? The judges also have their part to play. We have seen very questionable decisions made on a matter as serious as corruption. It is not only about, saying that, this hasn't happened before, it's not been decided before, and so, and therefore the law is this way, without paying attention to the realities of the day. What am I talking about? We saw evidence emerging after the death of a man entrusted with the land resources of our country, the forestry of our country, right? It emerged claims made to the effect that, some of these lands and natural resources had been allegedly appropriated by the very man who was asked to supervise or to protect it. Some way, somehow, we're told that these things were now contained in a document to be shared to family members and all of that. The special prosecutor took interest in this particular matter. What became of it? Ultimately, a decision was made. The man is dead. Before he went to join the majority, there were no pending issues or investigations or claims or findings that he had expropriated our natural resources. I'm talking about Sir John.
Yes, I'm
not speaking about the evil about the dead. But those are the facts. And therefore, we cannot proceed on the basis of new evidence that he may have done A, B, C, D.
Sky, let me put this question to you.
Let me finish. The point I'm making is that the judiciary at that point failed, in my respectful view, and I respect the judge who made the decision. But I'm saying that the judiciary at that point failed to protect our interests as a people. Because if evidence emerges that Chimota Forest, and those are the allegations made, that some things have been given to certain private individuals when ideally they should be in the hands of the state, and due process was not followed, we would expect that the judiciary will stand up and protect our interests. So these three institutions of state, organs of government, have that far failed to protect our interests.
Okay.
Now, the citizens themselves, we are also complicit in this.
What have we done differently?
You see, you can only tolerate misgovernance as a citizen and continue to tolerate the same to a large extent if you do not get off the fence and act to protect the public purse. And when the leaders fail you, the citizens must not fail the country. The point I'm making is that citizenship imposes certain duties on you. And those duties demand of you to make specific, or take up specific responsibilities. How many of us in our various offices who are seeing the dodgy documents being signed are challenging it at the Shiraj? Gone were those days when people actively took up these matters and sent them to Shiraj, and sent them to the special prosecutor's offices, or sent them to the police, or people who matter to investigate them. How many of us? They give us a few CDs, we are quiet. How many of us are going to court to challenge dodgy decisions or question the constitutionality or the legality of decisions being taken? How many of us? How many of us? How many of us pastors? How many of us imams? How many of us traditional leaders are questioning the sources of funding that we people in our churches, in our mosques, in our shrines, where they are getting the money from to come and give to us. Are we questioning all of those things? So if you look at it, Dambisa Moyo's verdict is that democracy doesn't just work for Africa. That's it.
That's what I'm getting to.
But the
right?
point really is, as a people, as a group, have we been able to actually understand our parts, and have we played it properly? In my respectful view, all these people who have mentioned have not played their part.
So the question then for me is, what do we want, right? What do we want? Because it's obvious to me that if
I think we are all clear on what we all want.
How do we want it is the next question.
I think we are very clear.
How do we want it?
I think that the question is whether or not our leaders want to bring about the change that is needed. I think that should be the critical question, because when you listen to people's opinions, either in person or you read their thoughts on social, or when they go out to protest, and last year's protest, the Occupy Julabi has an example. Clearly, if young people can get up, not led by a political party per se, but if young people can coalesce around a theme or a subject or a topic and go out and say, this is how we feel, then clearly they have an idea of what they want. And I think over time, young Ghanaians, older Ghanaians in general have become more aware of their surroundings, more aware of what they want, and more aware of how they send their messages across. And the text messages here are a good sample of people's opinions. The challenge is what our leaders, or like I said, is whether our leaders want to really effect the change. And Sky made a point about, for example, if you read the Auditor General's report and you read several reports, and you can see that there is a certain deliberate plan, or there's that, you know what, this is the state's funds, let me dip my long fingers in there, take what I can and go away with it.
And nothing will happen to me.
Because there is no consequence. Now the consequence can only come from the state and its institutions. Now our leaders realize that these institutions are weak, and they are weak because we weaken them ourselves
for our benefit.
Yes, because we are not putting the right people there. And even when the right people are there, we tie their hands behind their back and expect them to work. An example, the special prosecutor. Look at how many struggles that office has gone through. From Amidou, from Mr. Amidou to Mr. Kisejabin, who today's his birthday, by the way. Mr. Kisejabin, happy birthday to you.
Look, he's having a happy birthday.
Charlie, look at the struggles. Look at the struggles he's going through. And I mentioned the office. Richard, you bear me out. Look at the back and forth as a country we went through before we set up that office. Look at the note on which the first special prosecutor left. Read the letters he wrote, his comments. Look at, and if we think Amidou is so far in the past, Mr. Kisejabin is here. We can see his struggles. He goes on one pursuit to solve one case. Look at the things that are thrown at him. We read the newspapers, all kinds of funny stories. So clearly, I don't think it's a matter of what we want. It's whether our leaders are ready to say that we have to give our people this. It will come at a cost. The cost is that we may not benefit. But if they benefit,
all the better.
That's fine. I think that is how our leaders should think.
Service.
That if our people are fine, we've done our work, we can go home and sleep. This morning, the Right Honorable Alban Babin said something. He said ex gratia should be scrapped. When you listen to the full tape, he said that the reason why they brought that thing, the Article 71 holders walking away with large emoluments, was to set their minds at peace so that they could work, knowing that at the end of your tenure, the state takes care of you. But clearly, people are more fascinated and more enamored by the things they will get. Everybody rushes to parliament. They hop around, 4 years, 8 years. They take it in chunks and go. So I feel that it is all about how our leaders think about us and the country. They say, it's supposed to be, we need this place to be better than we saw it.
Like we found it, yeah.
So that when we leave, our children or our grandchildren will be happy. And that's the mindset of the places that have done well. People are not in leadership because it makes them happy or they will get some. Of course they will get. They know that when you occupy high office, it comes with a fat paycheck. They will enjoy that. But they are not ready to consume the pot that they must use to work, jump in and drink everything and leave us all hungry. No, it's about, let me help these people, because if they are better off, I am better off. I'm fine. But we don't have that kind of willingness for our leaders. It is why you read one state report after the other, and people are dipping their hands into coffers. Government entities are run as if there's no care. And then you have all these negatives we are seeing. So I think we are very clear as to what we want. Those who are supposed to provide it are the ones who are not holding up their end of the social contract, as Rousseau put it in.
That's a good one. I like where you come from now. The reason why I'm asking the reason why I'm asking what we want as a people, right, is, for example, this Rwanda conversation that comes up. Now, before, I know Ghanaians have gotten to the point where anytime they hear Rwanda, they go like, oh, every day Rwanda, every day this, that. And when you also go to Rwanda, I mean, and you hear that, look, Paul Kagame has been president for 30 years as a Ghanaian who has seen different regime changes, constitutional and all of that, especially the constitutional ones. You go to Rwanda asking people, I mean, what's going on here? Why is one man here for like 30 years and why is he running again and why is he tipped to win again? But then you take time to drive around, you spend time to speak to the people who do business there, you spend time to engage the services that are provided there, you spend time and then you begin to compare the taxes that people pay and look at the taxes we pay here, you look at the roads that people drive on, you look at the quality of services they get, and the fact that for a country that is landlocked, the cost of internet is cheaper there than it is here. You move around and you find that several organizations have used Rwanda as a hub where they are pioneering innovations because they could not find spaces in other African countries to go to because of the corruption of the system and how frustrating the system can be. Then you begin to ask yourself, say, do we really want to just be changing governments every other 4 years or 8 years, or we want an efficient, effective system regardless who is there and how long they are there?
Is it.
So when you talk to the young men there, they will tell you that they don't care about longevity, they care about results. So who is going to grant us the results? And so their point is they are defining the democracy to suit their needs, their background, their identity, and who they are. And I can tell you for a fact that if you talk to many Africans, the hymn of Rwandans, at least for as many as I spoke to, is a bit different from the rest of us. Of course, there will be a bit of undercurrents here and there. There are those who are not happy with something, some people who have ended up in some parts of the country that they feel were unjustly done and all of that. But we are saying that we love the rule of law. We are saying that we are democratic people who want the rule of law to lead and all of that. And for tons and tons of stories we review every day, which has got to do with impropriety and abuse and misapplication of state resources and all of these things, we see people are walking around free.
That's it. You know something?
We see people walking around free.
Again, you see, it comes back to the free hand that the judiciary gives to lawyers and legal practitioners, including solicitors, to manipulate the process to the advantage of their clients in many ways. You see, look, prosecuting a case should not travel forever.
Yes,
we hear all the time that, justice, the will of justice rules slowly or grinds slowly, but it ultimately gets to its destination. But you see, we as a people must also realize that we are building a democracy, we are building a state, and the people policing the judiciary have that mandate too, that role to play. There is nothing preventing the office of the Chief Justice or the higher echelons of the judiciary to lay down a rule that when it comes to financial matters involving thievery, alleged theft from the public, purse, we are deciding and disposing of this matter within 6 months.
Yeah.
From the date of filing of the charge and the date of judgment, that should take 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
So if you are the prosecutor, put everything together, file it, we should expect a response, whatever it is, whatever the defense wants to use, submitted and filed, within 14 days. Trial begins, and we are going to hold a trial every 3 days. What do you call it? Three days in a week. We are sitting on that particular matter. But what have we seen? We have allowed a situation where sometimes very frivolous, without disrespecting, colleague lawyers, very frivolous applications get filed, and they travel all the way to the Supreme Court. Then they are back. Okay, still proceeding. Proceeding. Go back to the Supreme Court on very, very little matters. Elsewhere, what happens is the higher court will tell you that, my friend, please don't come back here. Go have the process terminated at the lower court, and if you are dissatisfied with it, you appeal. But in this system, unfortunately, what we see is that trials have traveled for 8 years in some cases, and we are talking about public purse being misused. I think that the judiciary has its role to play in this matter, because when you decide the matters as soon as possible, and the person is guilty, you find him guilty. The person is not guilty, you say, hey, go home. It restores a certain level of confidence in the system.
Sure.
But what happens? Somebody has gone to steal kokoro, which is hen or chicken in Kwame Mensah's farm. Within 2 days, the man is put behind bars. Yet when we are talking about millions misappropriated, some way, somehow, it takes forever to decide the matter.
It's an interesting conundrum we have that we are dealing with, but yes, there is a lot that can be done, and these conversations are pushing the boundaries. That's why we are always doing having them with you. The line is 0549986996. We'll take a very quick break. When we are back, there is much more we'll share with you.
Are you a contractor, builder, or a proud homeowner with an eye for quality and security? Well, look no further than Yale. Yale is a trusted name in security for over 180 years. When it comes to securing your home or business, trust Yale. We make security simple, and we're right here in the heart of Accra, Ghana. Visit our stunning showroom on 11th Lane Street, Inosu, Accra, and discover a world of premium Yale products, including door hardware, handles, and door locks that will elevate the security and style of your space. Whether you're building from scratch or renovating, Yale has the perfect solution for you. Our products are known for their durability, innovation, and most importantly, your peace of mind. Visit us today and experience the Yale difference. Your security, our priority. Yale, locking in your peace of mind.
Escape to Paduasi Valley Resort, where flavors come alive as we live life. Join us every Friday evening for our barbecue dinner and enjoy the juiciest of meat that melts effortlessly on your palate. Weekends are amazing with local buffets, live band music, and local drinks. Don't miss our Sunday brunch. Our chef specials and pizzas take you on a sumptuous culinary journey with every bite. Be it breakfast, lunch, or dinner, we've got it all.
Imagine a one-stop shopping experience for all things made in Ghana at the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024.
I think it's giving us exposure to help other people know that there is made in Ghana coffee.
I find it very interesting. This is my first time coming on board, but so far it's been good.
We can also contribute our quota in order to support some of these businesses.
Let's partner with you. Let's do this and then see how we can best give exposure to our customers.
Get ready to explore the remarkable fair to showcase the rich diversity, talent, innovation, and mastery of made in Ghana products and services with the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024. Channel 1 TV and Citi FM will allow you to immerse yourself in a vibrant showcase of authentic Ghanaian products and services at the biggest trade fair and exhibition for local SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing industries, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporates corporate bodies Ghana has ever seen. We shall promote, support, and patronize various Ghanaian products, solutions, and services that are redefining the views on indigenous products and their packaging across all sectors.
What I bought is what I needed for a long time, and I'm surprised. So, good job, Citi FM. And it's really an amazing program. I'm really enjoying myself here.
The date is 31st of August and the 1st of September 2024. The time is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the Accra Metropolitan Assembly forecourt. Kindly call 0205-973-973 for inquiries on how to participate. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM.
Is Acrobato. I like my mind peace. That's why I go get my Bampo insurance from Holland Life. Just yesterday, my Abusha Penny asked everybody to pay 1,000 Ghana cedis for a penny funeral. But Masa, Nukureni, and Mosomekura. My Bambo helped me cover cost of funeral and any disability cost by paying 2 Ghana cedis per Busumibia. A simple cry.
Yes, with as little as 2 Ghana cedis, you too can have peace of mind about cost of injury and funeral by simply registering with Mibambo Insurance from Holland Life. Just dial *269# on MTN or Telecel and follow the prompts. It's really that simple. Enjoy peace of mind today, knowing your tomorrow is covered. Mibambo Insurance, made for you.
Education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. At Heritage Christian University, you are assured of quality education, accredited by GTEC and affiliated to KNUST and UCC. We offer programs like Bachelor of Business Administration, Community Development and Theology, Theology and Ministry, Psychology, Nursing, Information Technology, Information Security.
Heights is a well-planned and secured gated community with access to an ultra-modern sports complex, Olympic-sized swimming pool, football-sized basketball court, athletic and gym facilities. We have available 2, 3, 4-bedroom apartments and penthouses with the highest grade of finishing for rental and sale. Delicately styled for your comfort and relaxation, located behind Wessels Mall, Wager Accra for purchase and rental. This is the number 050-153-1444 or 050-153-1445. Visit our website on www.edenheights.com.gh for more details. Eden Heights, the height of modern living. Your messages are in. We'll be bringing them to you. 97.3 Citi FM. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. Simply saying that to whom much is given, much is expected. We are too blessed for where we are and what we have. We are always demanding better of ourselves. Now, the 5th edition of the Omni Basic Bank Health Walk is happening live on Saturday. No, that has happened already. So Nathan, tell us something else that's yet to happen.
For those who went, thank you for showing up at the Omni Basic Health Walk. But listen, you've worked hard. You've closed from work. You are home. And then you want to lie down. Then the mattress says no way because it is sagging. It is weak. It's just not working. Go to Latex Foam. Buy yourself a brand new mattress and experience the difference. They've got all kinds of amazing things in their showrooms. If you want to call them to 0302-231155 or 0322-008499 or visit them online, latexfoamghana.com. Now, when you buy anything, it has to be the best. If you are building, buy proper cement. Diamond Cement 42.5 R grade is the highest quality on the Ghanaian market. Now, if you want a more affordable one, there's the 32.5 R grade, and that's good value for your pocket. Call them on 0244-313-368 or get to them directly at their factories in Ampalao, Takrady, and Buipe. Diamond Cement still hard as a diamond. Yes, and Sedan Land Bank is giving you a thought-provoking proposition. Buy land, keep it, or sell it later for profit. That's the meaning of land banking. Call them on 0303-955-903 or visit them on their website, sedanlandbank.com, or you can find all the info on Citi Newsroom or Citi Newsroom, the website, and Daily Graphic as well. Sedan Land Bank, we are black and white. Now, Twisco is out there.
Yes.
From the people who brought you cowbell, they are bringing you Twisco, a lovely chocolate fruit drink made with premium Ghanaian cocoa and is enriched with a lovely combination of energy-boosting minerals and vitamins. Start your day with a cup of the great tasting Twisco and power your dream. That's what's powering us this morning. The Citi Breakfast Show.
Very important. Now, let me tell you about the 2024 Ghana International Product Awards. It's happening on Friday, the 19th of July at Mervyn-Pick Ambassador Hotel. This event is the largest consumer-based review event guiding consumers on the best products, manufacturers, distributors, retailers, importers, and exporters in Ghana. It's powered by KN Unique Communications, a subsidiary of KN Communications Group. So, for more information, call us on 0303 0303-979-996 or 0576-914-055. Visit www.gepa, gepaAwards.com, GIPawards.com, and also just imagine a one-stop shop experience for all things made in Ghana at the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024. You know, one of the exciting things for me during my trip to Rwanda was I was rocking made in Ghana shoes, made in Ghana backpacks, made in Ghana shirts, made in Ghana neck pillows, and my friends from the other African countries were asking, I was telling, this is made in Ghana, this is made in Ghana. We have a lot of that, and at the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024 we'll be showcasing the best of Ghana to the rest of the world. Rich diversity, talent, innovation, and mastery of made in Ghana products and services. It's all happening at the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024. Channel 1 Television, Citi FM is allowing you to immerse yourself in a vibrant showcase of authentic Ghanaian products and services in the biggest trade fair and exhibition for local SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing industries, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporate bodies Ghana has ever seen. We shall promote, support, and patronize various Ghanaian products, solutions, and services that are redefining the views on indigenous products and their packaging across all sectors. The date is the 31st of August to the 31st August and the 1st of September 2024. Time is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. It's happening at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. This is the number to call, 0205-973-973 for inquiries on how to participate. The This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM. More on your messages. Richard Delasky is still here. He'll be helping us with some of your messages that have come through so far.
This one says, good morning, team. I must admit I love and side with the views of Colonel Festus Aboje. He is very frank and he's been straightforward. Our leaders are just not telling us the truth. It's coming in from Paul. This one from Leviticus in Kaswa says, good morning. What is the level of democracy in Rwanda? How long has President Paul Kagame been in power? Ghana, Nigeria, and Kenya all have democratically elected governments. Can we say the same about Rwanda and their president? Well, it is a democracy, although people question the the quality of democracy. But the point is that democracy must and should mean free people living in dignity. It's not just about going for elections and changing governments after every 8 years. No, that's not what. Yes, the people must live in dignity. The essentials must be provided. It must be affordable. It must be available.
It must be
accessible, and it must be fair across the board. But where people are not getting that, and yet we vote every 4 years and you change governments every 8 years, really, then democracy is not serving its purpose. Ode Ashon or Ansong says that a leader who believes his policies are infallible and refuses to reconsider or consider criticism is not fit to lead a nation of reasonable individuals. More comments are coming in. This one from Bride says that we can even farm on the middle of the motorway and the Michelle Camp Street. That's from Bride. And this one says, first and foremost, government doesn't own land. Even if it can, its use of the land it has been given does not make me trust it as an institution. So this is in reaction to the call earlier in the morning that we should get our youth into agriculture. 2, how has government made agric attractive to the youth? 3, it is sad when we visit farming communities. You see indigents in their town capitals and the migrants are the ones doing the farming. If it is that attractive, wouldn't the indigents be doing it? How can me from Accra go into farming? All I have been exposed to is fishing. Even those doing fish farming, go and see how they are struggling. As for me, I have already given up on Ghana. Oh.
No, we cannot give up yet. It's an enterprise that we will all work hard to make better. So we do not have the right to give up yet. There's more we can do to make it better.
Well, yes. Final word from Omni Basic Bank. They are asking which bank is the fastest growing corporate bank and which bank was the bank of the year 2023. It's Omni Basic Bank. At Omni Basic Bank, we are always at your service. Call them on 0307 086 000 or 0302 758555 or visit any of their branches nationwide to open an account today and enjoy exceptional customer service. Omni Basic Bank at your service.
We have to be hopeful, that's for sure, but we must not accept the state of things. You drive around and birds are competing with polythene bags. Polythene bags are flying just as birds are. Our drains are choked and stinking. Our medians are overgrown with weeds. Our street lights are not working. Every other kilometer, several potholes. This is not how a decent crop of people with our level of intelligence and exposure, this is not how people live. We can do better than we are doing. That's all we are saying. And we cannot afford to let ourselves down. That's all we are saying. So if you are saying that because every other 4 years you are better than others, what's the state of your roads? What's the state of your drains? What's the quality of service you get in the hospitals? We can make this work. Let us do that. Until then, what do we really want? How do we make it work? Thank you for joining today's show. My name is Kayla. Caleb. Earlier you heard Bernardino, Koku, Avila, Richard. The last guy was here. Nathan Crow was here as well. Godfred Abe called him the richest man. He's the man on the technical. Show ably produced by Fred Tete Jabano. Edwin Kwao Kofi helped us stream this online so you could join us as well. Thank you for your thoughts and every contribution. It's time for the news at 10. Ni Latte is here. It ain't easy, but we're going to be hopeful. Good morning, Ni.
Good morning, Caleb.
You're hopeful, are you not? Oh, calm down. You're hopeful, are you not?
On a scale of 0 to 100%, maybe 60, 70%.
That's fair. I can deal with that.
That's a fair assessment.
I can deal with that. What's in the news?